Yes, it's a big occasion here at Hands Oval for the 30th of the 5th, 1997, where we see the derby taking place and between South Bunbury and Bunbury. And here's the General Manager of the South West Football League, in Ray Kelly. My name's John Dillon, and throughout the course of this game here at Hands Oval tonight, Ray Kelly and myself will do our best to keep you up to date and make this a memorable occasion for the South Bunbury Football Club.
Thanks, John. You're disappointing with the weather, but nevertheless something we can't control. Just having a quick look at the sides tonight. There's a couple of guys out of each side and who'll be sorely missed. Sean Maiden for South Bunbury, Scotty Walrot, who's out I think with a broken thumb, and Troy Coyle and Graham Whitelaw. Probably Whitelaw out because of the weather, I would think. For Bunbury, they've got Dean Testro out and Wilkinson, who hasn't played since early in the season. Grant Hawkes hasn't pulled on the boots yet this year with a back complaint. Greg Evans out from last week. Also Mitchell Walker, and that's about it. But there's still two evenly matched sides, and I think it'll be still a good game, even though it's going to be obviously slippery and wet. It doesn't look like the rain's going to stop, but that's something we've got to live with. And South Bunbury with their new jumpers on parade.
Yes, it's a big occasion. These are the new jumpers for the South Bunbury Football Club. 100 years is a long time, Ray. A great club, South Bunbury, and a club that everybody loves to hate. And there certainly has been some great players and some great people associated with the South Bunbury Football Club over the years.
Oh, it's a grand achievement for any organisation, no matter how big or small you are, to be still around 100 years from its inception. And South, the proud club that they are, and as you say, they love to be hated. You're either with them or you're against them. Terrific that they're putting on so many celebrations over the entire season, not just tonight. And again, that's another disappointing fact that we couldn't get a crowd here tonight because of the weather. But looking at the gate, they're still lined up fairly heavily up there, so at least by the time the quarter time comes, we might have a reasonable crowd, because the weather, although it's wet, but it's not cold and it's not windy at the present time.
And Ray, football has come a long way, hasn't it? You know, it's a big pinnacle in Australia today, and it's also a great achievement for the South West Football League and all country leagues to get around the various competition that's around in football in the 90s. And the lights here at Hands Oval are absolutely terrific, aren't they?
Oh, they're fantastic, the lights. South have done a wonderful job in having them up and to the volume or the lighting power that they have got. They're the best in the Southwest without a doubt. In fact, they're more than likely better than most clubs in the WAFL or the West Star Rules these days. They've only just put out a new lighting schedule from West Star Rules, and they've canned games, any sort of games like Colts or anything at East Fremantle Oval. The only other games that we can use besides grounds that can be used besides Subiaco Oval and the WACA are South Fremantle, the ones in Mandurah. So we're rather unique down here, and again, as I say, South Bunbury need to be, or should be, congratulated on the effort they've put in to get them to this standard, and it's great for footy, it's great for South West footy, and it's obviously great for South Bunbury.
Right, we can see the two sides getting into position now. It's a westerly breeze, and it was very strong earlier in the day, and I guess it's around 6:15 p.m. now, and we see the sides getting into position. The Derby, South Bunbury with their new Guernseys, and South Bunbury would definitely need to win this one to get back, and I guess with this weather conditions, Ray, it's anybody's game.
It is. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. Each club can be brought down to the other's level, but they're fairly level sides, or very even though Bunbury have got a little bit of a jump on South as far as the premiership table is concerned, but it's that tight. They can't afford to lose one because they've got 3 games out of 5 that they've won, but they've all been by less than 9 points, so they had their hearts in their mouths, their supporters. South, again, haven't travelled all that well, but you can never underestimate the wounded tiger, and with Ray Rendell at the helm, I think they're going to be very difficult to beat in these conditions. Right, it's bounced down in the middle or thrown up in the middle. It's a line ball. Through the water they go to start with. Out comes Bunbury with the ball. It's handball over the top, but it's going towards the South Bunbury advantage in numbers. It's come back through to Bunbury. Can't pick up any of the players in there. The present time, Cragen's fed it out. It's come to Bunbury. It's been knocked forward by Caton, I think it was, from South Bunbury, and all his stacks on. No, it's a free kick. Somebody's got a high tackle according to umpire Koch. And Johnny Burnell will take the resultant free kick. He moves the ball on down towards centre forward. It's going to bounce in between the players. Coming across is Amanini with the boot. He can't stop the ball. It's coming through with Adam Kelly's going forward. He's got the support of Aaron Hill. Coming through is Murray Bassett or Ashley Knipe. I think it was Ashley Knipe who's forced the ball to the boundary line right in front of the dugout for South Bunbury. Ball coming into play. Cragen's in there with Snedden from Bunbury. Come over the back towards Kelly. He gets it across to his namesake and brother, who gets onto his left foot, and in the right place at the right time is Michael Warwick, standing in front of his man. taken the mark overhead of Nick Martin was a player, I think, for South Bunbury, and Warwick should have no trouble putting this through if he concentrates on it. Straight through the middle it goes for the first goal of the game of the 100 years of celebration of football for South Bunbury, and Bunbury now lead 1 goal straight to South Bunbury, no score.
Well, we see Bunbury with the first goal on the board. They've got 1 goal. They go to the Halsey Street end. There's a westerly breeze and plenty of water in the centre of the ground. As the Tigers get the ball out of the centre, it goes up towards the half-forward line. It's a big clash down there at centre half-forward of players being grabbed without possession of the football, and it'll be a free kick to the Tigers. But I'll tell you what, it looks like he reversed the decision, and now there's 50 metres, so there must have been something said there. A free kick to Bunbury here with the Friday night football, the Derby, the first one of 1997, here at League headquarters at Hands Memorial Oval. As Bunbury go into attack, they're getting plenty of the footy early in the game, and we see a good hand pass go forward here now. It's taken by John Pennell. He gets the ball further to field, and it's taken by Aaron Hill. He squares the ball to the top of the square. This doesn't come off, however, and the Tigers have taken the mark, but I think you'll find the umpire will bring the ball back. The umpires in charge tonight are umpires Darby Coe, and we see the ball now with Aaron Hill. Right pocket, Halsey Street end, kicks it across the face of the goal. No mark is taken, and the ball goes over the line, out of bounds, left full forward pocket. Bunbury 1 goal, South Bunbury yet to score.
The ball coming back into play in the left forward pocket for Bunbury. Up with his Lee Ward, I think. I didn't get who snapped that point there from the throw-in. But it's 1 point to Bunbury, and they lead 1 goal, 1-7 to South Bunbury yet to score, and Bunbury have done all the attacking today. Good to see cars still streaming in the end gate. As they come out, the ball's fallen short, and I think it's near on taken by Aaron Hill, comes to the ground, taken by South as he gets onto his right foot over towards Caton. Caton comes out along the wing on his right foot down towards Toddy Walrot, and that could be out on the full from mine, but yes, the boundary umpire has picked that up, and Bunbury will get the resultant free kick back into play. And it's with Craig Remus. He looks further afield towards the half-forward flank on a 2-on-1 situation. O'Keefe is outnumbered, and that's a mark is paid there to Gallagher for South Bunbury. Ball's got to come back on a mark. You can't play on from there. Bit of by play off the ground, off the ball is Bunbury with a couple of players here in Slater and Howard. Ball's come to the ground. Todd Walright's in amongst it again. He breaks through a couple of tackles. Good strong work, but it's taken by O'Keefe, and he's grabbed around the neck again for the second time in as many minutes, and he'll take another free kick, and they must be all going Bunbury's way at the present time, but they're attacking the ball hard. O'Keefe goes short, and it's going to just get through past Cragen, who couldn't get around in time. Adam Kelly's taken to the ground. Comes through as Bennell. He's got the front position, can pick it up. Now he fumbles the ball. It's a good effort from the slippery condition and forces the ball over the line and out of bounds, and halfway between the half-forward flank and the wing in Bunbury's forward line, just in their attacking forward line. Sykes will do battle with Cragen. Sykes at the back, the ball's carried right across. There's a good big throw in by the boundary umpire. Handball out by Bennell, not a very good one. Puts O'Keefe under pressure. There's 4 or 5 South Bunbury players here. Comes out, squirted out towards Kelly. Austin Kelly it was, but he couldn't pick the ball up. And there's an injured player in the middle there, and trying to be attended to by trainers. It's a bulldog on the ground. The umpire's going to hold play while they're trying to treat Sykes, I think it is, the ruckman from his build. Oh, perhaps you'll know what Derby footy in the southwest is all about against the arch rival South Bunbury. He's starting to come good. He just needs to get hold of a second wind as the umpire's about to put the ball back into play. Cragen's going to take this on. No, Remus gets a big spring from behind. That comes out to Walright. He tries, feigns a hand pass and cuts back in. The ball's taken by Remus off his foot. Back into a scrambling position between on the half forward to wing position. Handball out towards South Bunbury's favour, but in comes Austin Kelly. He handballs the ball forward and gains about 15 metres for his side. The ball goes over the line and out of bounds once again.
Yeah, we're still getting plenty of rain in the about halfway through the first quarter of the first Derby for 1997. back here with Bunbury in front. They got 1 goal, 1 on the board, and they've had most of the play at centre half forward. Encouraging signs for the Tigers as Todd Rawbot has been getting a bit of the footy in the past few minutes, but we see the ball taken here now by Bunbury. They'll take it through their player there in Shane Barry. Now Barry goes from forward of the centre up towards the pocket, big thump away in defence up there at the Halsey Street end of the ground, and it's gone over the line and it's out of bounds. So goals will be at a premium here tonight. Bunbury 1-1, South Bunbury yet to score. The ball in the attacking area for the Bulldogs again up at the Halsey Street end of the ground. The ball's thrown back into play. It's on the ground, pretty scrambly down there. Good hand pass out into the open spaces, gives an opportunity for the Bulldogs as the ball's kept in play, but eventually the whistle's blown and we'll see another throw-in take place. And we certainly hope for those of you that are watching this later on, it's a good memories for you, and all the best for South Bunbury, and of course another club, Donnybrook, will be achieving the same thing this year, I do believe. It's thrown back into play. Now here's a danger man, this little fellow for Bunbury, in Aaron Hill, hooks around and it goes through for 1 point, I believe, as we wait for the goal umpire down there, which would bring Bunbury up to 1 goal 2, and South Bunbury yet to score. As the rain sweeps across Hands Oval, a wet night this Friday night under lights at Hands Memorial Oval, but it's good vision all the way around, and we should get a fairly good game the way the pattern continues, particularly if South can get the ball forward and score a goal, Ray.
Yeah, it's Bunbury's had all the place forward of the centre since the start of the game, but their turn will come, no doubt. Football these days is big scores are irrelevant. They come back from the depths of despair, as can be seen in a number of games this year. Ball about to be thrown in. Cragen over there will do battle with Lee Wood, I think it is. It's fed out there by South Bunbury, but nobody going through. Bunbury's tackled, and I think he's holding the ball according to the umpire, and I agree with that one. He had his opportunity, or prior opportunity as they say these days, and Mark Cummings will go back and have a free kick. A real good acquisition to the side, Mark Cummings, and back from Queensland only after missing 1 game. The ball's gone over the head of Walrot, straight in the hands of Craig Remus, who's doing a good job across half back there. Ball's gone over to Snedden. He's fortunately paid the mark after it dribbled out of his hands after the umpire blew the whistle. He'll go back as a rather congested forward line for Bunbury, and that leading out is Warwick, I think it is, or Ward it was. Ball comes to ground, is picked up by South. It comes across the half back line as the handball's knocked down forward. Bunbury's there, fed out by Cragen. Nobody can take the clean possession of the ball. It's a real scrambly play in the middle there. Fed out by South Bunbury, but it's pushed in the back, and he'll go back and take a free kick. It's Adam Duplex, I think. Duplex on his left foot. He goes out wide over the top of Bunbury's head, out towards the leading Travis Rendell. These conditions will suit him down to the ground as he gets around onto his right foot, and the ball goes into the forward line. It's attacked there by Hislop in front. Can't pick the ball up, but the umpire's picked up a free kick, and I think it will go to Murray Bassett. First time in attack for the Red and Whites as they go down into the scoreboard pocket, and Slater will take the mark right deep into the forward pocket in front of the scoreboard for South Bunbury. He goes back and puts it towards the top of the square. Good place to put it. Carried over the top. There's a bit of byplay at the back, but it's taken by Bunbury. Out on the left foot and out towards Collins, I think, has taken the mark. Hard to pick these players up. They're not so recognisable when they're wet. Out to the half-back line where there's Kelly's in. The ball's forced forward down towards Walrod, I think it was. No one can take it. Yes, they can. Jones takes the ball. Handball's out, but O'Keefe's in the way. He gets a handball out, but it's a bad one that goes behind the defender. He's got to soccer the ball away. It's still in a position for South, but they're outnumbered by Bunbury. There's no one over there to help Slater. He's got 3-on-1, and now Jones goes in to lend a hand, but the umpire's going to ball it up. Not a lot of support there from South Bunbury players in the forward line there, John.
No, they've got the opportunity here, Ray. They must score a goal here to be in touch with them, because with this heavy rain and to be in the game, I'd say they've got to get the ball and get a goal here.
It's knocked forward by Sykes. South Bunbury dive on it. It's squeezed out the back. In comes Jones. He tries to get it onto his foot and can't do so. Picked up by Bennell. He forces out towards the half-back line, and there's a blue one behind play, and somebody's... That's all broken up and no problems there. I don't know what the decision if they're going to throw it in or where they're going. Players are going forward as if it's a relayed free kick. It is.
guess it's just what South Bunbury didn't want, because it's going to be a free kick now, and it'll be taken by Bunbury, I believe, over on the half-back flank. And the score's still 1-2 to Bunbury, with South Bunbury yet to score.
Collins makes the lead, and he takes the ball on his chest and goes back and goes long and towards the centre of the ground, where there's Craig can't quite take the mark in these conditions. Could have been paid. Picked up by Warrod. He's offering everything for South. Goes out towards Kelly. He can't take the ball up. Pick it up in one hand. Sock it forward towards O'Keefe, I think it is. He can't pick it up and overruns the ball. He'll hit the body behind it, and the ball stacks on the mill, and I think we'll have a throw in here. No, we won't have a throw up at all. Sock it by Bunbury. He's grabbed around the neck. No free kick. Play on, calls the umpire. Stacks on the mill this time, and I think he'll have to blow it up at some stage. No, he won't. They're going to tend to leave it go, but South Bunbury have been awarded a free kick, and the ball's got to come back as the play had stopped. I think he's held on too long in the tackle after he got rid of it. As the rain's getting heavier, but they're still streaming through the top gate, which is great to see, so that the players will have some sort of support. Now they come. I can't see if that's duplex or not. If he gets onto his left foot, he's a left footer, whoever it is. Sykes puts a boot in the back and tries to get a spoil. It's fed out to Gallagher. He gets onto his right foot, and it's a muscle man job down there with Travis Rendell. Bunbury dive on the ball. He's dragged off it. Handball out over towards Bott. Bott gets onto his right foot, partly smothered. Jones tries to kick it out of the air and can't do so. Bunbury picks up by Hick. He gets a hand pass out and is held in the tackle. Play on, calls the umpire, as South Bunbury get it. Somebody's got it over in that back pocket with a banana kick onto his right foot, and he's drilled it, I think, from the reaction from the players, and so he has. So South Bunbury back in this game. 1-2-8 Bunbury. They lead South 1 goal straight to 6 points.
Well, we've played 12 minutes in this, the first quarter, and that'll be the goal of the night so far. Beauty by Slatter, and a goal that the Tigers desperately needed. They've got the ball forward again now, going to the Halsey Street end. It's taken away in defence by Bunbury, as the hand pass goes out there by Craig Undrell, and now it's gone over onto that dead flank for the Bunbury side as it goes towards the boundary line, and again we'll see it thrown back into play. So scores relatively level, with 1-2 to Bunbury. South Bunbury 1 goal, a real great snapshot in the pocket there by Slater, and one that he'll have great memories of in this great derby here at Hands Oval tonight. As the ball goes over towards the wing position, and it's kicked forward by South Bunbury. Very heavy rain falling at the moment in the first quarter of the match here. The ball's over on the far side of the ground. If the Tigers can get this ball across towards the more central position, they'd have a chance of scoring another goal. So it's a derby, with South Bunbury unveiling their new Guernseys tonight, and Bunbury of course would be determined to win this one, and Bunbury under the guidance this year of Jeff Niski, opposed to Ray Rendell, who was both fine footballers down here in the South West League. Now here's a free kick going to South Bunbury to be taken backward of the half forward line. It goes up towards centre half forward, out towards the half forward flank, Mary Street end of the ground. Here's an opportunity as the ball runs free. It eludes the South Bunbury player. They've still got a chance. Good shepherding off the ball. It's taken here now by the Tigers, and they will go forward off the boot of Caton Scott up towards the half forward line. From centre half forward, a big drop punt opportunity if they can mark at the top of the square. It's on the ground. Very heavy rain here as the hand pass goes out. Players desperate from both sides. The umpire blows the whistle, and again we'll see another bounce down. On the scoreboard here at Hands Oval, we see Bunbury 1-2, South Bunbury 1 goal, and it comes out onto the half-back flank for the Bulldogs on the grandstand side of the ground, and they poise and steady and kick the ball. Good depth and punch there, and the ball goes out of bounds right in front of us here at Hands Oval.
Craig to do battle with Sykes in the ruck. Both big men trying their hearts out for their individual clubs. The ball's going over the back again. Sykes is reaching over, knocked forward by Cragen, scooped up by Howard. He gets a scramble kick towards the half forward line, and Warwick keeps the ball in front of him. Well played by Warwick, but over comes Cummings to support the South Bunbury defence, and he knocks it over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. One of many we'll have tonight. With can't help but saying it, more cars still streaming through the gate, which is great to see. As the ball comes into play, Sykes and Cragen again. Sykes takes front position and wins a knock. Goes down to the feet of South Bunbury. He's grabbed as he's decked with a footy. Up comes Gallagher with a footy. He can't go anywhere on hands and knees. Shane Barry can't get it out. Comes out towards Slater on his left foot and scrambles it forward to Remus and Walright. Remus can't take it. take it cleanly. Slatter takes him on, and out comes the soccer from down towards centre half forward. Gets another 40 or 50 metres on the ball. Handball forward by Travis Rendell towards the to Jones. Jones stops and props. He's caught. Gets rid of the ball. Comes out towards Snedden. He's grabbed and then tackled. Breaks that tackle. Barry can't take the mark on his chest, and it skids over the line and out of bounds once more.
Okay, it's 1 goal 2 to Bunbury, and South Bunbury 1 goal, and the Tigers are in attack up on the left half forward flank. It's pretty heavy in there, as you can imagine in these conditions, as the ball comes down to the ground where Remus for Bunbury goes for it, and the ball goes over the line and it's out of bounds. There's been many fine derbies over the years between these two clubs, and some great players that we've seen come out from both these clubs that have gone on to bigger and better things. As we see the ball thrown back into play, I believe Sydney Jackson's here, a great player that was involved with South Bunbury, went on to play with East Perth, went on to play with Carlton, and it's great to have him back here tonight as well. As we see the ball over on the half-back line now for Bunbury, and they will clear the ball from the right half-back flank. Still low scoring, Bunbury 1 goal 2, South Bunbury 1 goal. Here's an opportunity for the Tigers. Has the umpire paid that one? He has, and it will go the way of Kelly here from for the Tigers, but it's Bunbury that break away from the centre. Up it goes towards the half forward line. It's thumped down to the ground. An opportunity for the South Bunbury defence. They do use the ball. Out it goes towards Cummins, but the ball will be thrown up again on the half forward line. Halsey Street end of the ground for the Bunbury side.
Umpire Koch puts the ball in the air. In comes Craig, and he gets a jump at it over Warwick. It comes down. He takes the resultant ball himself out towards Cummings. He's besieged by two Bunbury players. Can't take it cleanly as it's socketed forward by South Bunbury. The umpire's seen a holding in somewhere in there, and young Howard will take the kick. He goes backwards towards, looks like Mick Hick. He's got the ball. He'll have to run onto his left foot. He does. Down towards centre half forward. It's a good long kick. It's knocked forward by Nichols. In comes Amanini to help at ground level, picked up by one of the Kellys, or trying to be picked up by one of the Kellys. There's plenty of them around at the moment. The handball out by Amanini. Over towards Dixon. Dixon out towards Gallagher, who should have taken it on his chest even in these conditions. He gets a handball out. It's knocked forward and towards the boundary line and over the line and out of bounds. There's plenty of Kellys taking part in this game. 3 for Bunbury, 1 for South, and the commentator, which is the best of the lot of them. I thought you'd like that. Ball's back into play. Sykes and Cragen again do battle. That'll happen a lot of times tonight. Kelly can't pick it up off the ground. He does eventually. His head out towards Troy Kelly. Great pick-up by the big man is Toddy Walrod as he handballs across to the centre to his own advantage. He's got backup support from Troy Kelly, who gets it up. Now he's missed it again. It's very slippery, especially the yellow footies. They're not much better, and they don't help the cause against the red ones. Across the shoulder, says the umpire, and if you're in front, you're going to get them all. He goes short towards the lead of Bott, and Arundel chips in and takes a courageous mark with Bott bearing down on him. A little undecided where to go. Now he comes towards the centre, and I get these Kellys. I think it's Merv Kelly. He picks it up and goes long, but it's an awful kick off the boot. He goes towards Hill. Hill overruns the ball towards Ward. Ward gets a hand pass out towards Adam Kelly. He can't pick the ball up. They're all around him. Nichols comes in towards Hill. Hill's on the ground. He's tackled Nichols. Gets the ball free. Hill goes to the ground with a hip and shoulder from Bassett. He can't pick the footy up, and the umpire says, give it to me, I'll have it, and somebody's deciding to have a few words at the back there. But umpire Koch will bounce it down. A bit of lull in play. Now he's decided there's a free kick to Cragen. I don't know how that one came out, but nevertheless he's got it. Cragen goes long towards the wing, towards Walrot and Gallagher. Gallagher's the only one that goes for it, and he takes it surely this time, even on the second grab. Good hand pass out to Cummings. Cummings is going to cut inboard and gets around Snedden very easily. Going towards centre half forward and around Troy Kelly. He got his eye on the ball but can't quite take it. Knocks it back cleverly, but no one's there to wake up to it. The ball's chipped out towards Bennell. He gives a good shepherd for Dylan to go forward, and he can't get on to Kelly, and Dixon chips in and takes a good mark to repel the Bunbury attack and put South deep into attack to centre half forward with a long kick. That he does. It goes over the top of Jones. Ball comes down towards Bott. He can't grab it. South Bunbury at the bottom of the pack. Bunbury asking for the kick. Dillon's thrown off the ball with a high tackle according to the umpire, who's right on the spot. And Dillon will take the resultant free kick. Not pretty football, but it's pretty hard out there on the field, and I'm sure the players will tell you that once the game's over. Not the best of conditions to play in, obviously. It's a wobbly kick. Amanini's in front, goes for the spoil, which is sensible to do, down to the bottom of the feet of the players, but Bennell reads it best, onto his left foot towards Aaron Hill. If he's got the pace, he'll be able to pick this one up, and he does so. Gets around his player, arches it back, comes in towards centre forward and squares the ball off, but there's no one there for Bunbury. Picked up there by, appears to be Cummings. He scrambles the ball onto his boot, picked up by Bennell again. He feeds it out to anybody in particular. It's socket towards Craig, and he gets it onto his boot out towards the wing, where Remus and Walrod are having a great battle, and it's a battle of the game so far today. It's socket forward and taken by South Bunbury. Over towards Slater. He can't take the ball. He chips it out to Bott, or Slater to Slater. There's going to be tongue twisters there. And South Bunbury are going to get the free kick. And again, there's no need for squibbling, because if you're in front, I'm sure you'll get everything that's on offer tonight from the umpires. As South Bunbury go towards Walrod, and he's proving a danger. He can't take the mark. It drops to the ground. He's got the backup of Gallagher, who goes to centre half forward, going over everybody's head except for Lee Heslop, playing about his third game up from the Colts, and previous two games were excellent. He's tied the ball up, so we'll have a throwdown at centre half forward for South Bunbury. Walrod to do battle with Heslop, and somebody else chipped in there I couldn't pick up his number there, but Remus throwing what weight he's got around there, as he missed that one on that occasion and went to ground himself. The ball's come out to South Bunbury. It's knocked forward, and they'll have Stacks on the mill once again, and another throw up by umpire Darby. Up in the air the ball goes. Walrod and Sykes do battle. Sykes gets a thump, but it comes off the back of his fist. Bunbury's been tackled there by South. Slatter's getting in with his body, feeds a great hand pass out to Gallagher. Back onto his right foot, and he's sprung it around, but I think it is or it isn't. It's been touched on the line, I think, in that duel, and it's 1 point only to give South Bunbury 1-1-7, trail Bunbury 1-2-8. And we're at about the 24-minute mark of the first quarter. Geez, I want the game to go quick in the last quarter already. Rundle brings it into play. Out to the lead of Shane Barry. He should never let that get past him. Walrod's going to get around him on his left foot. Brings it back in towards the top of the square. Gallagher's going across. Neron took a great mark. Couldn't hold the ball in the conditions, and he's forced over the line and out of bounds. We had another throw in the left forward pocket for South Bunbury.
We've been getting pretty close to quarter time here in the first quarter, and it's thrown back into play. A goal here would be very handy for the Tigers if they could snap one before quarter time. It's a lot of heavy work being done out there, as you've heard throughout the call of this game. Now there's a free kick. The whistle's been blown, and South Bunbury are going to get the benefit of this free kick, certainly within kicking distance, giving dry conditions. But we'll see how this player goes as he goes back to shoot between left half forward and the left full forward pocket at the getting up towards the 25-minute mark of the first quarter. And this player now taking the shot is Gallagher. Had a bit of the ball lately in the last few minutes too. Real pressure kick this one, and I think distance is going to be a problem. See if he can find the accuracy under these trying conditions. It goes across the face and it comes off the hands of the pack, and it goes through for 1 point. So I guess it looks like the scores are all tied up here now at 1 goal 2 apiece, and it'll be pretty close to the first quarter as the player to kick the ball back into play. Rain continues throughout this first quarter, and also this afternoon leading up to this game, as the ball will kick back into play, getting a warning from the whistle now as the full-back for Bunbury. Out it goes towards the half-back line, and the Bulldogs mark the ball about 20 metres further afield. Coming out to the grandstand side of the ground, good mark taken there by the Bulldogs as it's taken on the wing. And away they go now from the wing position to Bunbury. Off the boot there, that time it'll be Dixon. Up it goes towards the half-forward line, but Bunbury can't get the ball forward as the Tigers will break up the attack once again now through Caton. That's Scott Caton. Back it goes in towards the centre. Kicked forward by the Bulldogs. Here's an opportunity for Bunbury. They might score before quarter time. Players running down the ground. Players leading out in towards the pocket, and a good mark has been taken for the Bunbury side. And we'll see them back and shoot up on goal now here through Neil Lee Ward. Thank you, Ray. Ward in the right full forward pocket, kicks the ball, but again it's inaccurate. And as Ray Kelly has been telling you, there is a lot of people coming into the ground tonight, which is good to see. And there's a lot coming in at that top gate, as the crowd certainly has built up compared to what it was at the start. And it deserves it too, because it's a big occasion for South Bunbury, and of course it is for Bunbury as well, because they would like to beat their major opponents, and in this great game of Australian rules football that has been conducted down here in the southwest for many years. And I believe Leon Baker is present here tonight with South Bunbury as well, as I guess they would have many extinguished guests as part of their club here tonight. As it's kicked back into play by the Tigers. Out it goes towards the half-back flank. Opportunity for Bunbury. The ball's pushed forward. On the ground it goes. Pretty heavy going in there. No one can break clear with the ball. Whistle's gone. The umpire will take a decision. And as Ray Kelly said, if you put yourself in front and commit yourself, you'll get the run of the whistle tonight in these sort of conditions. South Bunbury work the ball out towards centre half-back. The umpire will come back and make the player kick the ball from the standing position, as we see both sides locked together on 1-2 on the scoreboard here on a wet night, a Friday night under the lights at Hands Oval, as it goes back towards the centre of the ground on the attacking side for Bunbury. It's taken by the Tigers, however, and a bit of good teamwork here sees them take the ball through Cummins. He'll kick it up towards the centre half forward position, and that's a good mark taken there for the Bunbury side. It looks like David Dillon is the player that's taken the mark at the centre half back position. A timely mark there by Dillon, as he'll line up and go for the short drop punt pass. Uses the footy pretty well into the centre. A lot of water in the centre of the ground. Bunbury get the ball forward now here on the half forward line. Hand pass goes over the way here of the Bulldogs, where it's taken for them by O'Keefe. It goes up towards the half forward line. It's taken again by the Tigers. They'll take the ball from the centre. Up it goes towards the half forward line. Pretty long quarter this one, as it's on the wing position now for the South Bunbury side, as its players dive for possession of the ball. Hand pass goes forward. No one can take clean possession of the ball. It's at centre half forward for the South Bunbury side. Can they score here? They've got the opportunity. A player's loose at the top of the square. If they can just get the ball forward up there towards that player, it goes out towards the scoreboard pocket. They've got possession of the ball. The player will go back and in front of the scoreboard here. He'll take possession of the ball, gets it across to a teammate. Up it goes towards full forward. Nobody at home, but I'll tell you what, if they can get the ball off the ground, it's socket forward. Still in play. Desperate tactics being displayed here as the ball's driven over the line and out of bounds. Yes, well, it's quarter time here in the Derby for 1997, the first one of the year, when we see the goal scorers for Bunbury, who started off and had most of the play in the first quarter. Their first goal was scored by Michael Warwick, and then we saw a great goal scored by Mark Slatter, a terrific snap from the pocket. And it's been very wet. The players have had to contend with a westerly sweep of rain right across Hands Memorial Oval, under lights here, very heavy conditions in the first quarter of the game, and as you can see, obviously the scores locked together at 1-2 apiece at quarter time. Todd Walrott was doing a ton of work around the ground for South Bunbury there in that quarter. He's got the ball moving. Scott Cummings come into the play as well. The opportunists for Bunbury were Aaron Hill, a terrific little player. The Warwick up at forward line when the ball went forward up there, and also we saw Remus trying to get into the game as the game went on. But there's a lot of football left in this game here yet. As we say, it's quarter time, and the scores are locked together at 1-2 apiece in the first Derby for 1997.
Start of the second quarter, Cragen and Sykes. No one wins the mark. The ball up. Comes to ground. Missed the soccer by Kelly. Comes through with Cummings trying to burst his way out of the pack. It's in the middle of a water puddle. Socket forward by Caton. Or somebody's decided that this is a throw and by the umpire. And again, one of Merv Kelly. He goes for it. Another terrible kick off the boot. course, out towards South Bunbury, leading for it, and Caton. He soccers it forward to the advantage of his player, who gets up off the ground after being knocked down. Scrambles a kick forward towards the centre. Quick hand pass by Cummings out to Dixon. Dixon drives it long to centre half forward, and with a bounce of the ball is going to go closer to full forward. Out comes Collins. Oh, he's met heavily by Jones. Socket out towards the half-back flank, picked up by Arundel. Good hand pass over to Hislop, who gets it out wide. Again, a terrible high kick, not doing anything towards Mick Hick, who's outnumbered 2-1. And the ball runs over the line and out of bounds for another throw-in on the far side of the ground. One solitary point in favour of the Bulldogs. Ball comes into play from the boundary throw-in. Sykes wins the bustling knock with Cragen. The ball comes to South Bunbury, who get it forward, but Remus is in the way in front of Walrott, and he takes the resultant mark. He gets the ball down towards half forward, goes over the top of the pack. South Bunbury comes through in Cummings. He's playing a great game, and he's been awarded a free kick for a high tackle. There's been a lot of them. Bunbury got the benefit of the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game of the free kicks. The rest have gone South's way because they've been in front attacking the footy. Cummings goes towards the centre of the ground on Walrott. He arches the back and takes a nice chest mark. Hits a hand pass out towards Slatter. Slatter, terrible kick. Slips off the side of his boot. This is going to give a race with South Bunbury's Kelly. He gets a hand pass towards Jones. He tries to soccer instead of picking it up. He fights for the ball on the ground and comes up with a great play in the end. Ball's bouncing free from hand to hand as goes to the ground again. It's knocked out towards the advantage of Dillon. Dillon hand passes to Warwick. Warwick gets it quickly onto his boot, out towards the wing where Bunbury got the numbers 2-1, but Dixon, he's going to try and keep the ball in play, but he finally gets a hand pass out and it trickles over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. Mark Cummings offering a lot of skill and adaptability in these wet conditions around the ground. The same pair again. Sykes gets the front position, runs in, gets a good knock, but only goes towards Cummings. He backpedals and again gets a sneaky hand pass towards Dixon. He's not quick enough to get it out. The hand pass is taken by Snedden. He tries to beat them all and does. Plays on from a free kick on his left foot and it goes towards Kelly and the ball, or Hill is it? Aaron Hill, and the ball's gone over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in on the half-forward flank, left half-forward flank for Bunbury. Sykes gets up over the top of Craig and could have been a free kick there. Knocked out by Warwick over towards Burnell. He fumbles it, comes towards Dixon. He forces the ball out. Cragen backing up his ruck work. Great play by the big man onto his left foot. Comes out towards the centre. Couldn't be smothered by Heck. He's missed it. O'Keefe is Arundel there. He's decked us without the footy, and he'll take a free kick. And someone's just dropped Botton. I'd say that the kick will be reversed. Silly play by the Bulldogs. Ball goes forward. It's only goes as far as Remus. Could have been paid the mark in those conditions. Picked up by Hislop. Swings it straight onto his right foot and out towards the boundary. O'Keefe leads in the race for the ball. Shepherded by Arundel to keep South Player at bay for a short time. He gets past, but O'Keefe gets a small short kick in towards Adam Kelly. He can't take the mark and he's outnumbered 1-4. Picked up by South down towards Hislop. And if he's taken a slips catch in the worst conditions you could ever have and taken a great mark. Would have been the mark of the day to date if there was one. Terrible kick though to go with it. Snedden's in front, set underneath the footy as Troy Kelly comes forward, knocks it out towards Jones. He again soccers the ball and fights hard to get the ball at ground level. The ball trickles up towards Cummings. He can't get the footy. The South Bunbury player in Jones is decked and the ball squirts out the back, and unbeknown to the umpire he'll bounce the footy or throw it up as usual. And about centre half forward for South Bunbury. Sykes and Cragen. Cragen gets a hard knock and follows his footy up. He's determined to put this game over for South Bunbury and on their merry way. Towards Warwick. Great gather. He's tackled. Good tackle too and put down. Cummings comes in. Keeps his balance well after, gets a hip and shoulder and gives one out as well, and Howard runs the ball across the line and out of bounds right in front of the South Bunbury Premier... I was going to say South Bunbury Premiership Club, but they're not premiers yet. South Bunbury Club Rooms.
So we're in the early stages of the second quarter. It's still 1-2 apiece and still rain heavily falling here in this derby of 1997, and the ball goes out of bounds right in front of us. South Bunbury with their new Guernseys, and we can see them now because the players are fairly close to our broadcast position. It's thrown back into play. The big fellas will go up for this one. It's a big thump there by Sykes. He's a fine big player for Bunbury. Not frightened to go after the hard ball as well, as he gets it back towards a teammate there in Hick, but it's gone out of bounds once again. So a lot of boundary throw-ins, a lot of ball ups, and it's dead level here at hands. Throw back into play. Good tap there by Remus. Goes to the ground, up on towards the wing, tapped out the back of the pack. An opportunity here for Gallagher, who gets the ball forward, but the hand pass is taken by Bunbury. It goes, spills free. Opportunist here, Cummins, a great player, and for the Tigers in the early part of this game, and he's been forced over the line and out of bounds. You can hear and see plenty of body contact down here. This is a derby, brings out the best in players, and again it's the big fellow in Sykes that's dominating the bounce downs of the throw ups in this early part of the second quarter as Remus drops back at half back, marks for the Bulldogs, kicks the ball forward to the centre. It bounces free. Opportunity there for John Bennell. He's still got possession of the ball. The Tigers come in a gang tackle. It's taken for them here now. An opportunity for Bunbury, for the Tigers, as they kick the ball to centre half forward. It's marked in defence by Bunbury. It'll go out on towards the right centre wing position. Players come up to team up and take possession of the ball. The whistle's gone, and it's going to be a free kick to go the way of South Bunbury over on that far side of the ground. On the scoreboard it's 1 goal, 2 apiece. Sweeping rain across Hands Oval as it's the Tigers that have the ball bouncing free about 45 metres out from their goals. Up on the left half forward flank, whistle's gone. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Pretty tough one, that one, because it's red hot and pretty hard to get rid of the ball in these conditions. So the Tigers, if they can lob this up at the top of the square, they've got a chance to score a second goal. And I'm sure that goals are going to be at a premium in this game here, with the scores locked together. 1 goal, 2 apiece on the scoreboard. Continuous rain in this first quarter. South Bunbury with possession of the ball, left half forward flank. Waiting now for this player to come back and shoot the ball up towards the top of the square. If he can find some sort of a score at all. It's touched in flight, comes off the hands of the pack. So I guess the Tigers now go forward by the margin of 1 slender point as they'd move up to 1-3 and Bunbury 1-2.
Bunbury 1-3, John, so it's all tied up. Collins brings the ball into play towards the run of Ashworth, who's just come back onto the ground off the interchange bench. I didn't see who came off for him. Dylan's just come off and someone else has gone on for Bunbury. I didn't pick that up at the time, but the ball's been forced over the line and out of bounds in front of the South Bunbury dugout. 2 ruckmen go at it again. Sykes belts it back towards the boundary umpire and tells him to throw it back in again. Great duel these two are having, as is Remus and Walright, centre half forward, centre half back respectively. Cragen gets pushed forward, doesn't get the free kick. Bunbury can't pick it up. Hick overruns the ball. It comes out towards Collins. He loses possession. It's taken by Barry. He gets it out towards Austin Kelly. He gets it in the run with Dixon. There's a good duel on there, 1-on-1. Who's going to win out? Kelly's got in front position. He's got the sock of the ball forward. He's made up 40 or 50 metres so far. Goes to ground, knocks it forward. Great play by the young fellows. He gets it across to towards his player who misses it. Taken by South Bunbury. I can't see it is that far across the other side of the ground, but it's given us out of bounds on the full by the boundary umpire, and South Bunbury will take the kick. Looks like Slatter. Bunbury aren't going down to pick up their men. Slatter goes forward towards centre half forward. There's a Bunbury player shoved out of it by his counterpart, and he will take the free kick. Ashworth has just come back onto the ground. He goes short towards here's a player in O'Keefe, it could be. Just dark on that other side of the ground when it's wet. Picked up by Hick. He gets around with using a bit of his natural ability. A good mark into Bennell, not paid. Socket forward by Bunbury over towards Kelly. This is about his first kick. He's fumbled the ball and he's even dropped it off his hands as he's tried to kick the footy. Poor play there by the Bunbury forward. Taken by Remus. He gets the ball forward towards... I don't know who it was. Kelly's come back determined to make amends for that. Ball comes down to Hill. He gets a great hand pass over the top of the Bunbury player who's slipped in Warwick. He's good enough to get to his feet onto his left foot and he's snapped a beauty to put Bunbury 6 points in front. 2-3-15 to South Bunbury 1-3-9. As of stop play, there's a Bunbury player down. South Bunbury have regrouped at centre half forward. So it could be a bit of a delay in play here as the stretchers come out onto the ground. It's sad to see anybody get injured at any stage, let alone on a stretcher. And we'll have a couple of minutes hold up. South Bunbury grouping in the middle. Bunbury decided to do the same as one of their senior players calls them in for a quick chat before to keep their mind on the job. We'll have little groups forming everywhere around the ground at the present time. South Bunbury dispersing as Bunbury going to theirs. Lengthy delay with the stretcher being used, and a Bunbury player in Rundle sent off the ground with a blood rule. Dillon's come on to replace him, with Bunbury leading by 6 points. Ball's up with Walrod on the ball now with Sykes. Sykes get the knock forward, but it only goes as far as Troy Kelly, I think it is. They look alike. Out towards Jones. Jones gets the ball forward with a soccer. He's leading easily in the race for the ball with Snedden. Can he keep it in? He's tried his hardest, but the ball's trickled over the line and out of bounds, and that's a good decision by the umpire, irrespective of what the rest of them say. So we've had a change where Cragen's gone to centre forward on Remus. Walrod forces Sykes under the ball, but nobody can get a clear tap. It's knocked forward by Jones. He goes back in after his own ball. Good hard work by the youngster. Picked up by Slatter onto his foot with a banana kick that he kicked his goal with. Rendell tries to soccer the ball forward and does so. It only goes a short distance, but the umpire is going to pay a very soft free kick there. In fact, I thought he was going to pay it to South Bunbury. I thought it was going to go the other way. It's going to Bunbury, and Dillon will take the free kick. He's got to drive it wide out across the other, come across goals. This is dangerous with Ashworth can't take the mark. He's overrun the ball to go with it. He's got the backup of Hislop, sorry. It's handball out backwards to Slatter. He's on his left foot. He's got to kick it long as hard as he can. It bounces forward. It goes clean bowls Craig, and it's knocked forward towards Cummings. He can't get onto the ball. Comes out towards Gallagher. He's been shepherded well by Bott. He's been tackled now, and I think that's holding the ball for mine, and the umpire agrees with that as the Bunbury take the ball and play on. First time it's been allowed tonight as he has a bounce. He handballs it over the top to Hick. Hick gets it forward to one of the Kellys. I get these two mixed up all the time. It's Austin, number 18. He's taking his time with what he's going to do with the footy.
Yes, so we're about 15 minutes into the second quarter here, and still fairly close as Bunbury with a good passage of play this time. They've worked the ball forward up towards centre half forward. Can they score from here? South Bunbury player interfered with from the scoreboard side of the ground, and we'll wait now for them to take a free kick. South Bunbury 1-3, Bunbury 2-3. 2 goals scored by Michael Warwick, as the Tigers now will relieve the pressure from the scoreboard pocket on the half-back line. And it's taken here for the Tigers, and they will relieve the pressure from through Duplex. Out it goes towards the half-back line once again on the scoreboard side of the ground. As you can imagine, very, very heavy going here, as it's Bunbury that have the possession of the ball there, this time through Shane Barry, and it's again over on that far side of the ground, and it's pretty hard to pick them up, as you can imagine. And we'll see Bunbury now with an opportunity. Mary Street end of the ground, scoreboard side, kicks it to the top of the square, over the hands of the packet comes, and South Bunbury have a chance to force it through, which they have done, and it's gone through for 1 point. It's another point on the board. Still pretty heavy rain falling here in the second quarter of the this most exciting derby. Low scores as we see the ball kicked back into play again by the Bulldogs. Over they go onto that far side of the ground. Players race for possession of the ball. Bunbury have the footy now through O'Keefe, a good player. O'Keefe kicks the ball forward. Big fellas jostle for possession of the footy. It comes to ground. A chance here for Bunbury now through Paul Kimberley. It's the Tigers that have possession, however. The hand pass goes astray. Players bring trouble with picking up the ball. Taken by Cummins. Cummins gets the ball over towards a teammate, and away goes South Bunbury as they kick the ball up towards the half-forward line. Comes down to ground. Who can pick this ball up first? It's taken by Bunbury's defence, and they relieve the pressure now as it's taken by Ashworth. Ashworth gets the ball over towards the wing, and Bunbury dive down there and have taken a good mark. Hand passes, players team up. Up it goes towards Ashworth again. Spills over to the back of the pack, where it's taken for Bunbury here, and it'll be taken by Snedden. The whistle's gone, and it's going to be a kick here for Bunbury as they kick the ball further afield up towards the half-forward line it goes. Players having difficulty in picking up the ball. Low scoring game as the time ticks on in the second quarter, and it's still over on that far side of the ground, and as we've seen many times tonight, we're going to see a free kick picked out of this as it'll go the way of the South Bunbury side from the half-back flank position. plenty of boundary. It's got in the, looks like it's with Cummins. Cummins now gets onto the left boot, kicks the drop punt high. Up it goes towards the half back line. Gee, that player for the Tigers there went to knock the ball on, then nearly marked it in Troy Kelly. And we're going to see the ball back with the umpire again for a throw up over on the far side of the ground once again.
Ruckman do battle once again. Comes down to Hick, straight onto his boot. Gets it down towards centre half forward. Can't be taken by anybody. Picked up by Cummings. He's the best man on the ground by a streak at the present time. Gets onto his left foot as he runs up his usual 15 metres. Over towards Jones. Gets it onto his left. He's onto his left foot as he runs forward. He gets it down. It looks like Rendell that's got the footy. He gets it towards the top of the square, 2-on-1. He's going to have to mark this Bunbury or they're in trouble. Slatter takes the ball at the back of the pack and he's missed a snap, I think. He got the hard one in the pocket and missed the one straight in front of goal. 5 points of difference, or is it 6? It's Bunbury 2 goals for 16. South Bunbury 1 goal for 10. Or is it 5? 1 goal for 10. So back to one straight kick, 1 goal in favour of the Bulldogs. As they prepare to bring it back into play. It's a long kick. It's a 2-on-1 as Bunbury come in to make the numbers up even. O'Keefe waits down. Good thinking by the wingman. Over towards Bennell. He knocks it forward. Can't take control of it. Walrod comes in to put Sykes down to the ground. Picked up by, knocked forward I should say, by Gallagher over the line and out of bounds in front of the South Bunbury dugout. A lot of players trying to play dry weather football with their handballs. Better to get the ball to boot and kick it as far as they can into advantage. Sykes is knocked out of it by Walrod. Picked up by South Bunbury and Cummings again. He's doing some heavy work in the packs. Well, nearly a great mark by Rendell as the ball comes to the ground. Bunbury's gone across to defend it and force it through. Good thinking there by Lee Hislop and force it through for another behind to South Bunbury, who moved to 1 goal 5-11. It's Bunbury 2 goals 4-16 as Collins goes back to take the footy to bring it back into play. There was a big huddle at centre half back. They start breaking for the defender to bring it into play. He's a little undecided. He'll get the hurry up from the umpire in a minute. Decides to go long. That's the way he should have gone in the first place. Out towards Hick. It's knocked forward to the player at the bottom of the pack. He gets it to the run of Bennell. If he can pick it up, he's off and on his way. Dixon's, or is it Kelly in chase? Good centering kick towards Kimberley. I thought he could have been paid the mark in these conditions. Comes out towards South, but it's trapped in underneath the pack, and once again we'll have the regular baller. Amaniti getting to his feet from the bottom of the pack. Sykes is up against Dixon. Nobody there to support the South Bunbury ruck. Comes towards Hick. He's gathering a number of possessions in the second quarter. Comes towards the run of Kelly. He soccers it forward. It's a good decision in the end, but perhaps he could have picked it up. He's followed his own kick up, tried to pick it up one-handed. Can't do that in this day and age, son. Comes towards Ward. Stacks on the mill, and once again we'll have another throw up. This time it's right at centre half forward on the edge of the square in favour of Bunbury. It's a terrible game to have to umpire in these conditions, as well as for the umpires as the players are just pelting down now. Knocked down by Walrot, and I think it's Cummings, and gets another kick. He must have had 30 possessions already. Gee, he's playing well. Down towards, he's overrun by the Bunbury in Ashworth. He didn't pace his run to the ball. Cragen goes to knees, hoping to get the mark. Doesn't carry to him. It's picked up by Rendell. He goes to ground. Comes through his Kelly, I think it is. No, it's not. Duplex was the player at the base of the pack. Sykes and Cragen do battle. Once again it comes to the ground, as you can imagine it would do in this weather. Nobody can take the ball. They're all trying to pick it up, and the Bunbury bloke, the only one that picked it up, he'll take the free kick as the umpire has to clear those packs somehow. Mick Hick's the one, the experienced head of Mick Hick. He'll kick it long, and he does as far as he can. Coming off the bench is low, and he's just going to fall into his arms. Couldn't mark it. Socket forward by Kelly. He gets 30 or 40 metres. Good play by him. Come across his Hick to tie it up. It's pushed in the back. He play on as the decision. Low gets back in amongst it again. Out the ball comes to Jones. He's on his left foot. He's looking forward to the top of the square. Who's in the right position at the right time? And it's Travis Rendell. Dead set in front. The ball carried over the back of the pack. Good kick by the half forward in Jones. He's about 30 metres out from where he'll kick. Directly in front, and should have no trouble, even given the conditions, in slopping this through to put the Tigers in front. Goal umpire hasn't moved. 2 goals 5, South Bunbury 2 goals for Bunbury, 1 point lead to the Tigers. Well, it's only 22 minutes into the quarter, but it'll go about 32 minutes, I'd say, with the hold-up we had earlier in the quarter with the stretcher and the blood rule. So the Tigers have hit the front for the first time in the game. Walrot and Sykes. Walrot wins it down. Over to Slatter. He loses control of it as he tries to put it on his boot. It's socket forward towards Collins. He's going to soccer it out towards a wing. Tricolore will love this. Over towards Dixon. He picks up the ball, runs around, tries to handball to his advantage, and it's going to trickle over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. Slightly in favour of South Bunbury's forward line. Yeah, no, that's good. Ball comes into play. Up is Sykes, tries to knock at the back. Barry can't control of it. Sykes goes down, head down and picks the ball up. Handball is taken by Warrot. He breaks one tackle, gets a little chip kick across towards Lowe, who's just come on the ground. He makes sure of the mark. Bonnell's in the way. Lowe goes forward. Down towards centre half forward. The Tigers are starting to look pretty good at this stage of the quarter. Travis Rendell can't take the mark, but he's knocked it out forward to the run of Duplex. He tries to socket it forward. Bunbury picks it up by Collins. Sykes, he gets his misses has a windy as he puts his the ball to boot. Socket forward again by South, picked up by Hick. Handball over to Arundel. He's caught in no man's land there as he knocks the ball down towards Lowe, and I think Lowe's picked it up and drilled it through the middle with a false. With a great kick from Lowe from a false start from Arundel over in the pocket, and he's put South Bunbury 7 points in front, and there's a new look at this game already for the Tigers.
Yes, Brad Lowe, a very likely type for the Tigers, added plenty of life into this game. There's 4 valuable premiership points at stake here as the ball's gone forward now again for Bunbury. However, in defence it'll be the Tigers that'll break it up. A bit of confidence starting to come into their game now as they soccer the ball off the ground. They dive for possession of the footy, and in there goes Lee Hislop. Whistle's gone and Bunbury will take the free kick, and the crowd are starting to find their voice as South try to repel this attack now by Bunbury as they've got it up on their half-forward line. Leading out in the race for the ball now for the Bulldogs is Hick. He's been a valuable player in the first half as well. Up it goes towards the half-forward line. Kicked away in defence by South Bunbury. Out it goes towards the wing position. Players shepherding, Remus shepherds. And off the ball now we see that taken here by Mark Howard. Up it goes towards half-forward line again. South break up the attack. Plenty of will out there and plenty of fire coming from players from both sides as the rain continues to fall. Up it goes towards the wing position. Fairly negative play at the moment as no one can quite break away clearly with the ball. It goes out towards South Bunbury through Gallagher. Gallagher gets the ball forward and Bunbury dive on the ball and it's gone over the line and it's out of bounds. So a good quarter for the Tigers. Plenty of work being done, as we've told you, through Mark Cummins and Lowe since he come on the ball. A very handy goal scored, and we wait for the ball to be thrown back into play once again. There goes the throw back into play. It comes over the back of the pack. An opportunity now for the Tigers. Kicked away in defence by Bunbury. Out it comes here where it's taken by another useful player in John Bonnell. Bonnell decides to go back now and kicks the ball clear out onto the grandstand side of the ground. Players race for possession. Good tackle. Play on, says the umpire. It's still in play, very close to the boundary line. Players from both sides do a good job, but eventually it's gone over the line and out of bounds. Right in front of the South Bunbury club rooms. Plenty of fire out there in the derby between South Bunbury and Bunbury here in the second quarter, in the latter stages of the second quarter. Good tap away by Sykes and Bunbury break away with the ball. It's an opportunity them here now as it's taken forward up towards the half-forward line once again. Big puddle of water right in the middle of the ground, and Bunbury break up the attack as they do through Kimberley. Kimberley, the support for the Bulldog supporters starts to lift now as they push forward. Light rain starting to fall now. It's eased up a little. Hand pass from the Bulldogs goes forward. Up they go now, up towards the full forward position, and they dive out in front there. No mark is taken. It's kicked by, look like Remus. We'll pick him up as the ball bounces clear up towards full forward, and it's gone still in play. This Bunbury player will stand clear, snap. Well, he's missed from a very short way out there, and that could well have been a goal, and a very valuable one it would have been indeed, had he put it through for full points, but it's gone through for 1 point only. Getting close towards the half-time break, but as we said, there was a player taken off on a stretcher, which delayed And also we saw a player come off with the blood rule, which will add to the time of this quarter. Good kick in the conditions there now. Out towards the half-back line it goes. Soccering tactics take place. South Bunbury capitalise on this now, and they sweep the ball down on that wing position. It comes back to Bunbury, however. The kick is ineffective as it sprays. Kick forward there for the Bulldogs. Well, off the boot there of that time taken by Andrell. And here comes Bunbury once again as they attack now. Up towards the half-forward line. It's on the ground. A chance there for Amanini. It's taken for the South Bunbury side as it's kicked forward there by Troy Kelly. Kelly for South Bunbury. Kick forward here now by South Bunbury once again through Slatter. Slatter will kick the ball up towards a teammate. It's on the ground and it's very desperate stuff out there now as Bunbury defend. It goes back there where it's taken by the big fellow Sykes. Sykes uses his muscle. It's on the ground. Over the top comes Mark Cummins and it's kicked forward now again by Bunbury side. Players desperately trying to get the ball into their attacking zone. Soccering tactics, all sorts of pressure. Kicked forward there by South Bunbury as it's taken for them by Brad Lowe. He's been a very valuable player since he come onto the ground. He kicks the ball further afield. Soccering tactics again. With a bit of luck, the rain might hold up and we might get a bit of dry weather football, if that's any sort of a statement. And as the ball will be taken here for the Bunbury side, and they'll take the ball. It looks like O'Keefe that's got possession of the ball from back at the half-back flank position. On the half-back line now, whistle's gone by the umpire. Something must have been said, and we'll just see what's... Oh, the blood rule. Thank you very much. So the blood rule again. So we see there'll be an interchange take place here, and coming onto the ground for Bunbury will be David Dillon, and he'll take up his position here at the for the Bunbury side. Pretty close to half time. Bunbury break up the attack, take the kick into the centre. The mark's been paid, and it'll go the way of Bunbury, and it'll be taken for them by Michael Warwick from in the centre of the ground. He's kicked 2 goals and been a very useful player for his side in the first half of the game here at Hands Oval tonight. There goes the drop punt up to centre half forward. Scoreboard. And we see the score at half time here at Hands Oval in the trying conditions. South Bunbury 3 goals 5, that's 23 points. 2 goals 5, Bunbury 17. And some brief comments on the game. Here again is Ray Kelly. We see Michael Warwick with 2 goals for Bunbury, and South Bunbury have one apiece from Travis Rendell, Mark Slatter and also Brad Lowe, and a good quarter by the Tigers that time, Ray.
Far more desperation shown by the Tigers in that quarter, especially in the middle stages from about the 6 or 7 minutes to about the 15 minutes. They seemed to have most of the control of the play. They were getting in first for the footy. Therefore, they got the run of the kicks from the umpire, which is solely deserved, and especially on a night like this. Better players probably at this stage. Amanini's doing well in the back line. He's leaving his player to mop up across there to help his other defenders in defence. Cummings will be best man in the ground by 3, 2 and 1 votes in my book at the present time. Jones is not handling the ball well, which is a lot aren't, but he's trying to do too much soccering, perhaps a little bit more pick up of the ball and getting it forward. Slatto's getting a lot of kicks around the middle of the ground, and Todd Warross battled manfully at centre half forward in the second quarter in the ruck. Cragen did a great job in the ruck in the first quarter and then went to centre half forward. And for Bunbury, John Burnell getting kicks around the ground. O'Keefe's probably their best player, although he dropped out a little bit in that quarter. Arundel's doing a lot of good things across the half-back flank. The 2 Kellys, Austin and Mervyn, I get them mixed up all the time. So they're probably flashing in amongst it, and Mick Hicks doing a great job, as is Sykes, and Warwick, who's got their only 2 goals, must figure a little bit in their better players through lack of opportunities, and Remus is doing a good job at centre half back. So at half time we see the Tigers in front by 6 points, 3-5 to 2-5.
Underway in the second half here of the Derby at Hands Memorial Oval, and the rain eased a little, dare I say it, because we had a heap of rain in the first half, and it's 2 goals 3 to Bunbury, and South Bunbury 3 goals 5 to 2 goals 5. It's South in front by 6 points, and I'm John Dillon with Ray Kelly, and we're bringing you a description of this game, and also at 3/4 time we hope to be speaking with Steve Butler, the local reporter for the South Western Times, and also the presenter of the ABC sports program each and every Saturday morning on ABC Radio, and he'll be coming in to give us an idea of some of the better players. And Cummins has been one that's shone out, of course, for South Bunbury, and I believe also that Duplex has been a good player for South Bunbury, and Remus, and also Sykes. But we'll be getting some comments from Steve Butler later on at 3/4 time. So we're into the 3rd quarter. Light rain starting to fall again here. Valuable 4 premiership points at stake here for both sides. South Bunbury versus Bunbury. What some clashes they've had over the years. There goes the bounce down now as we see it go up towards the half-forward line for the Tigers. But it's taken in defence, and a good mark's been taken there at centre half-forward. And they go back to the Tigers, and they will take this shot from the centre half-forward position through Slater. He's been a player that's figured fairly prominently too. It's thumped away in defence by Bunbury, out to that scoreboard pocket, right underneath the big lights, the big towering lights here at Hands Memorial Oval, and it goes over the line and out of bounds. So as we check the scoreboard with rain still continuing to fall, it's South Bunbury who are 3 goals 5 and Bunbury are 2 goals 5.
South Bunbury got a free kick over in the half-forward flank as they put it towards the top of towards centre half-forward in the top of the square. South Bunbury going to attack, and a little chip kick has found Jones, I think it is, and he's been slung to the ground after he's taken the mark, and he's going to go straight into the square, dead in front, and goal number 4 coming up for the Tigers. Very poor defence and undisciplined play there. I think it's not. I think it could be. It's number. It could be Docking, is it? Can't see his number.
Number 22 it is. And that is...
yeah, it's Mark Docking. As I said, poor play by the Bunbury defence. Can't afford to give away goals at this stage of the game with only 4 goals as a 2-goal deficit by the Bulldogs at the present time is going to take some real hard work to catch up to. Rod Ashworth has taken on the tagging duties of Mark Cummings, and there's a little bit of byplay off the ball of some of these bounce downs that have been around the ground as Arundel leaves the ground for the 3rd time in the game with the blood rule. And they're going to need to do something to stem the flow of that blood because it's continually leaking with the wet weather. The bandages probably aren't sticking across the eyebrow. David Dillon comes back on. He'll move into his customary defence to take Arundel's place, and we'll get the game underway once again very shortly. There's a move coming up. Looks like Shane Barry going into defence for the Bulldogs as Sykes wins a knock down towards Austin Kelly. He's bumped out of the play. Ashworth gets in there and can't do anything with it. It's taken by Cummings. He backs into play. He could have been given opportunities to get rid of that, and he's been penalised for holding the ball. And that could now be 50 metres too, but he's got away with it. The umpires looking at each other. Who's going to make the decision? No one. It's a state of play stays as Bennell drives it into it and into centre half forward where Nichols gets into the back of Kimberley, but the play on calls the umpire, but then he decides to pay a free kick off the ball, and Bunbury will go into attack. This could be Kimberley with the ball now. Howard coming off, and he'll be replaced by Chunky Taylor. He moves close to the man on the mark. Gee, it's a good kick with a wet ball right into the goal square, and it's touched off hands and over the line and through for one behind to mark Bunbury. 2 goals, 6-18. They trail South Bunbury 4 goals, 5-29. Amanini's about to bring the ball back into play as Bunbury play the zone defence. He stutters and goes back. Now he's going to drive it out to the dead flank where they normally go. It's gone in favour of Bunbury, but Cragen comes over the back to spoil. It's a good spoil as the Bunbury player goes to ground as well. Feeds out the back towards Bennell. He balks one player, then gets it onto his boot to the top of the square. And going up to take the mark is Murray Bassett, I think. Response on the TV. There's a lot clearer to watch on the TV than it is to see live. Rain continually falling. He drives it out towards that half-back flank again towards Cragen. He's 3rd in line. Ball's knocked through with hands. Sykes gets a handball out and it's a poor one. He's lost 10 metres towards South Bunbury's goal. Hickson can't pick up the ball, throws the South Bunbury player out of the way, and the ball will be thrown up once again by the umpire. Sykes and Cragen. Cragen looks like he might have had enough. He couldn't get off the ground. A little chip kick by Austin Kelly. It's out to towards the boundary line, and it's run over the boundary line and over the line for yet another boundary throw-in. It's clearer to call it off the monitor than live. Ball comes into place. Cragen falls forward, knocked forward by Warwick. Kicked forward by South, only as far as Hick. Good hand pass to Bennell. He was going to feed it back. Borks goes onto his left foot in towards the forward pocket. It's knocked forward by Martin, I think it is, from South Bunbury, and over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. Sykes to do battle with Cragen again. It's knocked down by Cragen towards Merv Kelly. Ball goes back into the pack. He can't get it out. It does with Duplex. It's handballed out by Warwick to Sykes. Sykes is upended as he gets a ball to boot, and it's a good mark taken by one of the Bunbury players. He gets onto his boot and trickles over the line for a point. I think he could have gone back and taken a deliberate shot, wasting many opportunities. The Bulldogs, they started off the quarter in good fashion once again, but they haven't been able to capitalise. The veteran about Peter Amanuni about to bring it into play. Slatters at centre half back on his own, making ground. Hasn't been seen. Out to the dead flank he goes again. Bunbury player waits back, it carries over the back of it, and Sykes watches the ball run over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. Becoming monotonous with the throw-ins and the ball-ups, but there's nothing much we can do about that in slippery, wet, slippery conditions. Here at Hands Oval as the ball comes in. Cragen to do battle again with Sykes. Said that many a time. Ashworth can't pick it up. Kimberley can. He's off and running. Runs towards goals. Gets boot to ball. It's going to carry over the back. No, it's not. A timely mark is taken by Slatter as he gets onto his left. Out to the run of Nichols. Nichols going for a gallop, but he's cut off by O'Keefe. Manfrey gets back into the fray. Well done by Nichols. He kept the ball bottled up there. Well done. Kimberley comes back. Boot to ball. It's heading goalwards. Will it carry the bottom of the back of the pack? But no, Nick Martin is running back and takes a mark with a float of the ball. No Bulldogs forwards in sight. Out we go to the far flank once again. Will it carry to the South players? Knocked forward halfway back as it's kicked out by a South Bunbury defender. Back, his jumper's covered in mud, so you can't see whose number. Hard to define them even with their characteristics with the wet. As the ball comes into play, the regulars are at it again. Cragen can't get his fist to it. Socket forward to Ashworth. He takes a couple of steps, lines towards a goal. Trips as he kicks it. It's coming over towards the back. It's good defence there by South Bunbury, Scott Caton, and I'm just trying to pick up who socket that. It trickles over for one more point to Bunbury. Doing it in small stages. They need to get a couple of majors on the board to have a figure in the finish of this game. As it's teeming down now. Probably about the heaviest it's been all night since the game started, as Amanini balks once. Good long kick out of defence. It'll take two to get back there, and Sykes, I think, takes it on his chest. There's a tick. He gets it back in towards the top of the square. It's in the pocket where Chunky Taylor's taken the mark. He's shoved aside by Amanini, but Taylor comes back to remonstrate, but needs to keep hold of that footy. It'd be an absolute gem if he was able to kick it from there, but the distance may be beyond him, even with fresh legs. He's going to have a deliberate shot. Someone should be over the back of the pack at the back point post. That's a good kick from Taylor. Gee, that looks like it's split the middle going by the goal umpire. It has. It's a gem. Bunbury moved to 3 goals 8. South Bunbury 4 goals 5.
South Bunbury 4 goals 5, Bunbury 3 goals 8. There was a good goal by Taylor. Add some spice to this game in the early stages of the third quarter, and the umpire will blow the whistle as Bunbury work the ball forward about 20 metres the attacking side of theirs from the centre up towards the Halsey Street end of Hands Memorial Oval. Another throw up by the umpire. There it goes, and it comes down to ground now, and we see the big pack of players around the ball. It's a tight game. It's a close game as the players dive for possession of the ball. Emerging with the ball is Bunbury, but there'll be another throw up in the centre of the ground here again. So the scores are close. And there's some pretty good football being played under the conditions, and a lot of will and the desire to get possession of the ball by both these sides. As it's brought forward by Bunbury, up it goes towards their half-forward line. It's taken in defence by Mel Nichols. And it goes over the far side of the ground once again. Here comes Bunbury now with the opportunity as they take possession of the ball through Ward. Ward gets the ball further afield. Whistle's gone once again, and there's going to be it's going to be a free kick, and it's going the way of South Bunbury over on the far side of the ground once again. And waiting for that player now to go back. Looks like Cummins, been a very busy player for the Tigers. Off he goes onto the right boot, kicks the ball forward up towards the half-forward line. The hand pass goes out now to Waldrot. Waldrot onto the right boot, kicks the ball up towards half-forward. He finds a teammate. Tigers look good. They break. It goes up towards the full-forward position. Players dive for possession on the ground, and gang tackled is that South Bunbury player, and we'll see the ball bounce down, take forward for South Bunbury now up at the Mary Street under the ground. It's thrown up in the air. Over the back, the big fellows worked hard tonight. That's Sykes. Down it goes to David Dillon. He relieves the pressure for Bunbury as he kicks the ball out on towards the half-back line, out on towards the left centre wing on the regional hospital side of the ground, where you see the ball go over the line and out of bounds. So a closely fought derby in trying conditions for all concerned here tonight, but at the end of the day there's going to be 4 premiership points awarded to one of these sides, and they both badly would be chasing the victory for the first derby of the season. Here goes the big fellows in Waldrot, and Sykes at it again, comes down to ground. The opportunity's there for Bunbury as they take the ball through John Burnell, but it is very close to the line, and once again we'll see another throw-in take place over on that far side of the ground. Bunbury working the ball forward up towards the half-forward line. A temporary break in the rain, I'd suggest. Throw-in takes place. Up goes Waldrot over the top of the pack, and again it's thumped over the line and out of bounds. So goals are going to be precious here. Whoever can break away, I should imagine at the moment, the scores being very close indeed. It should this game should go right down to the final siren, as we see Waldrot and Sykes go at it again. It's Sykes that gets the ball. Waldrot goes and dives after possession, but again it's gone over the line and out of bounds. So the umpires, both boundary and central, have had to work very hard tonight here. Wait for the throw-in to take place on the far side of the ground, on the regional hospital side of Hands Oval. Waldrot gets in front, gets the ball down to the ground. South take possession, handballs it free. It's taken there by Burnell, forwards it again, and again it's gone close to that boundary line. So as you can imagine here at Hands, in the early stages of the third quarter, again we've got seen a lot of players with the ball to be thrown back into play over on the far side of the ground, on the regional hospital side of Hands Oval.
Picked up by Bunbury out of the packs, put on the boot by Burnell as he comes towards Warwick. He knocks it forward towards Kimberley. He couldn't take the ball. The South defence can. Austin Kelly on the hands and knees gets a handball out towards Brother Merv. He's put to the ground as he tries to pick the ball up, and the ball trickles over the line and out of bounds once again. Ball comes into play. Waldrot will do battle with Bunbury's Lee Ward. Sock it towards the goals, points in the pocket, and it's forced over the line by the South defence. Hard, tough footy here, but the game to date has been played in terrific spirits. Nothing untoward, as it shouldn't be. The ball comes into play. Nichols knocks it forward towards the boundary line, and over the line she goes again. For the want of repeating myself, the ball will come back into play with the boundary umpire once more. As John said, they've certainly earned their keep tonight. They do battle. Over the back comes Heck. He tries to knock it forward, skims off his hands, doesn't go anywhere. Socked by the South Bunbury defence out to the half-back, towards half-back and wing. Bunbury's in front there with Dillon, and the ball runs over the line and out of bounds once again. And even though people would say it's not a good crowd in attendance, they must be congratulated for turning up. For it's a good crowd given the conditions, but a poor crowd by normal standards. But they terrific to see they at least made the effort to get out here. Back into play we go again. Sykes and Waldrot. Ball comes down towards Austin Kelly. He gets it onto his left foot and scrambles it forward. Bunbury have got the run of it, jumps over the top of the South Bunbury player. And once again, Ashley McInnes will throw the ball back into play. will do battle with Sykes. It's a lot clearer on the monitor. It goes down to nobody, in towards Duplex, knocked forward by South. It knocked forward out again towards Cummings, I think it is. He gets a ball, short chip pass, and it's a good kick too, and it's taken on the chest of Docking. He goes towards the centre of the ground, over towards Slatter, carries his head to Jones, who takes the mark. Wheels onto his left foot. He's got a lead up forward, and coming from Gallagher. He gets back up onto his feet. It's taken by his other South Bunbury player in low. Ball comes down to the ground, and the bottom of the pack is South Bunbury and Bunbury players, all on stacks on the mill, and we'll have yet another throw up. Getting up from the bottom of the pack is Jones, followed up his kick from that short kick he had. Craig and Collins gets Remus gets a little soccer forward. Someone's been taken without the footy. The umpire says it's a Bunbury player. There's a little bit of wrestling on the ground there between Slatter and O'Keefe, and O'Keefe is the one that will take the free kick. He gets quickly on with it because Bennell's 5-6 metres on his own and drops the sitter. Even in these conditions, should never have dropped that. South Bunbury come in 3-on-2. South Bunbury going for the footy. Could have got a free kick. Gets a hand pass out to Drew Walker, who's come onto the ground. Cragan's on hands and knees, still fighting hard for the ball. Walker misses a soccer. Kelly doesn't. It's a drop punt soccer straight down towards the half forward flank where Lowe leads the race for the ball. Knocked out a bit by Lee Hislop. And Bunbury will take a free kick because it's been socked over the line and out of bounds. It's a touchy one from my angle. South having a bit to say with it, but the umpire's decision will stand. So again, it's O'Keefe. He's going for the top. Get a bit more distance with the heavy balls. Sykes has get underneath it. It's thumped forward by Warrock, playing a good game. Walker can't take it, and he's dealt with after the ball left his area, and he will take a free kick. Again, playing in front. If you're playing in front, you'll get the benefit of the doubt from the umpires tonight. Said it before. Out comes the lead of Docking. He gets underneath the ball. Ben Bott crashes his way through, picks it up onto his left foot and hits right on top of the point post on the full, obviously, and a kick will come back into play with Bunbury. Right deep in the South Bunbury forward line. Bunbury got to get it out of their defending area. Goes over the top to Ward. Or is it Remus? 23-28. 23 is Remus, knocked over the line and out of bounds once again. And again, we'll have yet another throw in. Well, it's become a bit of a stalemate. Not a lot of scoring, as you can imagine, with the scores. 4-5 South Bunbury, 29, 3-8, 26 Bunbury. As Sneddon comes off the ground for the Bulldogs. Umpires picked out a free kick there. It's a push in the back, and it'll go to South Bunbury's Cragan, I'd imagine, as Howard comes back onto the ground. The Bunbury supporters getting a little bit irate with that one. I missed that one, I didn't see it, but the umpire's a little bit closer than me. South Bunbury said it's warranted. Cragan will go back and see if he can put it right on the edge of the square, if not through it. Going for a short pass, and his Lowe can't take the mark as it's put down by Lee Hislop. Ball come up forward, and who's in front takes the mark on his chest. And he turns around, I'll be able to tell him it's Brent Jones. Well, he's a good left foot kick, Jonesy. Won't have any trouble with direction or distance, I would imagine, with the little bit of confidence. Determination will put it straight through the middle. As we wait on him to come in. Well, he's put it... Well, okay, straight through the middle, says the goal umpire. That gives South Bunbury a healthy little break of 9 points as they move to 5-5, 35. Bunbury 3-8, 26. Well, the ball's back into play. Up they go in the middle. Warrock gets high up over Sykes. The ball comes to the ground and is kicked forward by Bunbury, but only onto the chest of Nick Martin. He's grabbed by Bunbury Warwick, I think. Very dangerous play. Could have got a penalty involved in there, holding up players. Martin goes to the outer side yet again. Out towards Bunbury gets in front, and that's a good overhead mark in these conditions. Even though it stopped raining, the ball's still slippery. We'll read it off the monitor as the ball comes in towards centre half forward. It goes over the top of Mick Hick, or Warwick, and it's taken again by Martin. He does the deed again, out to the wing, but straight to the arms of Sykes. He's in front and he takes it comfortably on his chest. Goes back looking to centre half forward. It leads on from Lee Ward. Over the shoulder, says the umpire, and Bunbury will take a free kick and virtue just off centre of ground. Very congested forward line. They need to get it open if they're going to have any good and run onto the ball. It's a good long kick up towards centre half forward, and South Bunbury in front, unattended. He takes the mark easily on his chest, I think, is Murray Bassett. He comes out wide. It's a dangerous kick if Amanini marks it, and off he goes. Very cool, calm and collected. He's going to take it back where he come from. No, now he looks the other way. Ran his full measure. It's going to go over the head of Dylan. Mick Hicks coming in from the side, as is Duplex. Duplex forgot the footy and went for Hick, missed them both. Hick comes back with the footy and gets a hand pass, but it's going to no avail, only to see Bott. He runs into a dead end and forces the ball out in the tackle. Knocked forward again. In comes Ashworth. He's in front here. A good shepherd will give him a bit of time if he can pick it up, but he won't. The boundary line's going to win here, and it does. And the Bunbury supporters becoming very vocal. They can see this game could be slipping out of reach if they don't get onto it, even though it's only 9 points, 2 goals. It's a big difference, given that they've only kicked 3. Sykes does battle, gets it over the back, but only to see Dixon. He stops, props, and gets onto his boot with one step. Meeting the ball head on is Heslop. Scrambles it forward to Dylan. Dylan can't take it cleanly, as you can be expected. Ball comes down to the ground. It's South Bunbury Bott. He loses control of the ball and goes and stacks on the mill once again, and we'll have yet another throw up in favour of South Bunbury's forward line, just forward to centre, 15-20 metres forward to centre. Up they go again. Sykes knocks the ball down, no one there from Bunbury. Sock it off the ground towards Merv Kelly here, who's got a chance. He's going to put the slipper into it, and he does, out towards the half-forward flank. Leading is Amanini. He couldn't pick it up. Kelly follows up his socker, dives to the ground, comes back onto his right foot. This could carry the pack. This is danger here for the Tigers. This ball's going to carry all the way through, and it has. It's about a 60-metre kick with the bounce of the ball, and Bunbury come back into the game. 4 goals, 8. They trail South Bunbury 5 goals, 5, and it's only 3 points of difference.
South Bunbury now 5-5 and Bunbury 4-8. Great goal by Kelly. Great derby this one. Up it goes towards centre half forward now. Up at the Tiger end of the ground, going up towards the Mary Street end. And the time ticking on in the third quarter. We're going to be in for a crackerjack last quarter with 3 points the difference here in favour of the Tigers. In the centre of the ground now, basically it is, and just backward of centre for Bunbury, or they'll go forward. Then a mark nearly taken there for them. It'll come down to the ground. South Bunbury break up the attack. They've used the ball pretty well. They've used it well in this quarter, and they relieve the pressure through John Dixon. They get it up to the half-back flank. Players race for possession of the ball. Diving down and being a pretty useful player is Austin Kelly. It's gone close to the boundary line once again. This is a good game of football here, this derby. Very close scores, only 3 points the difference, with the Tigers leading. And both sides need the win. Both sides need the 4 points. And it's under lights here at Hands Oval. 5-5 South Bunbury. That's 35 points. Bunbury 4 goals 8. That's 32 points. And we'll be joined by Steve Butler at 3/4 time, and he'll be giving us his comments. And Steve, of course, with the South Western Times and the ABC presenter of Sports Talk each and every Saturday morning. And the ball's gone over the line and out of bounds again on the far side of the ground. So players doing a pretty good job in these conditions. Good tight game. South up by 3 points in the derby, the first one for the year. As it's taken for South Bunbury again over on that pack of players by Brent Jones. Here comes the big fellow for Bunbury as he gets the hand pass now over to a teammate, and away go Bunbury once again up to the half forward line. Has that mark been paid? It's play on. It'll be an opportunity here now as it's taken for Bunbury deep in the pocket. The ball went there from Shane Taylor, and it's driven away again by the South Bunbury defence, where we see players race for the ball and the throw-in to take place. Good derby. Ray Rendell coaching the Tigers, and the Jeff Niski with the Bulldogs, hoping for a better year this year. As it's Cummins that gets another possession. Play on, says the umpire. An opportunity for the Tigers. They start to free flow with the football a little now as it goes to Slater. Up it goes. The bouncing ball will come to the back of the pack. They dive for possession of the ball, desperate to keep it in their forward line. Players chasing possession. Play on, says the umpire. It's Remus that gets possession. Out it goes onto that far side of the ground once again in the negative side of Hands Oval, and we'll wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. As you can see on the scoreboard, 5 goals 5, 35 35. That's the South Bunbury score as it's thrown back into play now for the players to try and take possession. It's Bunbury that breaks up the attack. Up it goes onto the half-back line. They'll keep the ball locked in the forward line, will the Tigers, because taking possession now for them is Troy Kelly. That's for the red and whites. Play on now as the whistle's gone, as Cummins tries to play on with possession, but I think he's going to have to go back and kick over the mark. So let's wait for Cummings now to see if he can push that ball forward a little bit further for the South Bunbury side. There it goes. He centres the ball across towards a teammate. That player has taken the mark, and he'll go back, and that's Drew Walker. Walker will kick the ball up to full forward. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Big scrummage of players around it. The umpire's got no alternative but to blow the whistle, and a handy goal here for the Tigers would certainly put them in a good spot come three-quarter time. Must be getting close now as the time ticks on. There goes the throw up. Let's see if someone can score from this, or can Bunbury rebound and get a score for their side, because the ball in today's modern football does move from end to end pretty quickly. Not so in these conditions, I might have to say, as once again with the boundary lines there, and it's Troy Kelly for South Bunbury that has forced the ball over the line and out of bounds. So the boundary umpire will come up again. We'll see the two ruckmen here in Sykes. He'll do battle here with Cragen. It's Sykes over the top. There it goes to South Bunbury that breaks up the attack. They win the day. They get the ball forward. It's on the ground. Whistle's gone. Going to be a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Bunbury. So we'll see the Bulldogs now on the scoreboard side of the ground, defending. Up it goes on towards the wing position. Up into the air they go. Comes down to ground, and Bunbury again repel. So it's three-quarter time here in the Derby, and in a close game where we see South Bunbury 5-5, that's 35, and they lead Bunbury 4-8, that's 32. I'm John Dillon, with me is Ray Kelly, and also as to give his comments on the game up until three-quarter time, it's a welcome to Steve Butler. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks, John, and what an outstanding game, sort of deserving of a centenary match, but yeah, I thought some outstanding individual contests really, and Cragen and Sykes. Cragen probably had the better early, but Sykes really fought back in the ruck, and he's been a very good player in the ruck work. Cummins versus Mark Howard early, and then Ashworth, and Ashworth did a pretty good job, but Cummins really runs hard, and he's doing a good job for South. Walrot versus Reamers is an outstanding contest, I think, both really having a good influence, and interesting to see Brad Lowe come on and kick a goal this week, and he kicked another one last week, and it was his first goal in 5 years of league football, so he kicked 2 in 2 weeks, so good effort from Elvis. I thought better players for South. Duplex has played outstandingly. Gallagher was very good in the first quarter. Docking had a big influence in the third quarter. Amanini been great in defence, and Slatter been useful across the midfield. I thought O'Keefe was Bunbury's best across the midfield. He's had a lot of possessions. Merv Kelly worked into the game well. Mick Hick was outstanding in the second quarter, and had a few touches again in the third. And really, it's pretty much down to the wire at this stage.
Steve, it's a derby, isn't it? Bunbury and South, and derbies bring out the best in players, bring out the best in supporters, and it's a big year for South Bunbury, and also Donnybrook are having a big year this year, but tonight we're focusing under lights on South Bunbury's night. I'm sure that Bunbury would like to upset that party, and over the years there's been many fine players come from South Bunbury, hasn't there, and indeed Bunbury, but it's South's night tonight, and there's been some great derbies, and you can feel a lot of the spirit out there tonight, can't you?
Oh, there's certainly plenty of passion out there, John, and in fact just having a chat to Sid Jackson today, and what an outstanding player he was, and I mean he's just a great bloke and riveting to listen to when he tells a few yarns about especially the 1970 grand final for Carlton when they won against Collingwood under the adversity, but yeah, some really great champions from South Bunbury, but really you've got to give Bunbury credit tonight. They've built a very good team together in the midfield especially, and they're really going to take it up in this last quarter, and yeah, I really think it can go either way, but South Bunbury will certainly be working hard on their own oval. It's their big night for the centenary year, and their ball, of course, tomorrow night, and of course their family day again on Sunday. So I mean, it's a big quarter for them, and if they can't find something now, well, when can they find it?
Yes, that's true, and Ray Kelly's with us, of course, and I was talking to him earlier tonight about the lights. It's a wonderful lights that you are here at Hands Oval, and it's great for football, and gives an opportunity for perhaps things later in the year. You never know what might happen under lights here at Hands.
Are you looking for a comment from me on that, John? Well, yeah, as we said at the start, South should be congratulated. We were last year on the state of the lights. They're the best outside the metropolitan area that I've seen to date. They're better than some clubs in the West Star rules that I've seen as well. So it's all great, and as it provides us with the opportunity to utilise our fixtures to the best of our ability, given the advent of the Dockers and with the Eagles travelling so well. So it's good for us, it's good for South Bunbury, and it's good for football overall.
Well, the big disappointment, I suppose, Ray, is the weather tonight. I mean, could really have been a blockbuster in terms of the crowd, a nice, warm, balmy night for a centenary game, but still, I mean, you couldn't doubt the passion of the players, both sides. I mean, it's an outstanding game of football in such conditions.
Oh, it is. I mean, the players to be admired. They played it in the right spirit. There hasn't been anything that shouldn't have happened. It's terrific to see that there was so much at stake, and it's this type of weather when it's wet and slippery in it that people can lose their tempers pretty quickly, but they've kept their head down, they've kept their eye on the ball. There's been great physical clashes. You've outlined some of the tussles that have been there, and they've been fantastic. It's just hard, and you say that the people that have here and brave the conditions are fantastic as well. But I also think that, again, if the weather hadn't have been so bad, that we would have had a blockbuster, as you're saying, we would have had a bumper crowd. But nevertheless, footy's a winter sport. We've got to live and die by it, and that's the way we're going tonight.
We thank Steve Butler for his comments, and on this derby that we see here at Hands Oval tonight. And thank God the rain has eased a little. I'm sure we're going to be in for a big last quarter as we look at the scoreboard now and see what the actual score. Final quarter, South Bunbury 5 goals 5. That's 35. They lead by 7 points. 3 points, I'm sorry. To Bunbury 4 goals 8, 32. So a 3-point margin.
End of the last quarter, Warright wins a knock, comes down to the ground, in comes Bennell, picks it up cleanly, gets a hand pass out towards Lee Hislop. He drives it forward towards centre half forward, a big long kick. Chunky Taylor pushed forward out of the play, couldn't get into it, picked up by Amanini. Bunbury pound on him as he goes to ground, and we'll have one of our regular ball ups, one of the many we've had. Ball's back in play, up they go in, Sykes takes it, puts it to boot, smothered off the boot out towards the half forward to the forward pocket side. I can't see who's got in front. We'll have a look at the monitor. Taylor tries to chip it back in with a soccer kick. He's done that. South Bunbury have done it again, and I think he's socketed it through. He has. I didn't pick that one up who it was from Bunbury, but we'll soon find out. I think it was Merv Kelly again, going by where all the people are going. Either way, Bunbury have got the first goal on the board, and it only took them 55 seconds to do so. That puts them in front. That'll get their tails in the air. Let's test how South Bunbury are. 5-8, 38 to 5-5, 35 with the Bulldogs in front. Sykes, he knocks it down. It's a good knock to Hick. He sidesteps and he was looking for the hand pass, but onto the boot, down to centre half forward. Have Bunbury got their tails in the air? Chunky Taylor couldn't take the ball over his head. He looked hands and knees. Handball over the back. It lets it bounce. I think it's Kimberley onto his left foot. The goal umpire's not moving far. He's not following the ball across. He had me fooled. 1 point only to the Bulldogs, so they're really peppering him at this stage. 5-5, 35 South Bunbury. 5-9, 39 the Bulldogs. Damanini taking his time to bring the ball back into play. South Bunbury need to settle now and get the ball out of there. Bunbury need to get another one if they want to put some real top hard pressure on the mighty Tigers. The ball's into play from Amanini, out to the far side, over the top of Nichols' head. He couldn't quite get it on the second attempt. As the ball runs over towards the lighting tower and Todd Warright, and over the line it trickles. And yet one more throw-in we'll have in this great derby of 100 years ago. Reenacted to a certain extent, this new jumpers from South Bunbury. Ball into play, Warright and Sykes. Sykes has done a tower of work. Will he be able to last the distance? It's knocked in front of Cummings. He's grabbed by Ashworth as he goes to ground, loses control of the footy. Over it goes towards Hick, and they clash and push each other out of the way as the ball trickles over the line for another throw-in. Sykes and Warright. What a great battle this has been. Terrific tussle in the ruck. Bora tries to get him out of the way. It's knocked down towards O'Keefe. He dives on it. Well done. Jumps up to his feet. Gets a handball out towards Austin Kelly. That looked like a throw for mine. Over to Hick. Good hand pass over the top to Ashworth. Gets it onto his boot. Goes down 20 or 30 metres towards goal. It's only on the half forward flank, but it's still forward of Bunbury. Oh, it went out on the full, according to the umpire. And South Bunbury, it's a long kick, and it's marked on his chest by Cummings, or just by the his movements, and good mark by Bennell. Chipped in front of Slatter, who's now moved about 5 or 6 metres over the mark, and he's brought back by the umpire. That's a good mark by Bennell. They're lifting things in this type of game. He goes forward towards Ward. Ward drops a chest mark. Shouldn't have dropped that. He gets a little kick over towards O'Keefe. O'Keefe bombs it forward. So one out. They both go to ground. Who's up first? It's Aaron Hill. Can he get it off the ground? He's tackled. He gets back. His cat-like panther movements. Handballs over to Taylor. His ball is swamped. His kick was smothered, and then he came back off, got off his hands and knees, got his boot to ball, got it over the goal line, and Bunbury have really opened up and fired away in this last quarter of the 100-year centenary game. They moved to 6 goals 9, 45. South Bunbury 5 goals 5, 35, a lead of 10 points. John, they're looking good, the Bulldogs.
Yes, they've lifted now, that's for sure, and it's a great start to the final quarter. Bunbury now 6 goals 9, South Bunbury 5 goals 5, and some good passages of play there by the Bulldogs. But let's see if there's the fight in the Tiger to get back into this game, in this great derby. And touch wood, we've had no rain in this last quarter. Whistle's gone, someone inside the square. Which way is the kick going to go? Luck will play a big part in this final quarter. It's South Bunbury that take advantage of the free kick from the centre, and away they go now as they kick the ball over the centre of the ground. They'd need to score from this one as it's thumped in defence by Bunbury. Socket off the ground. Up it goes. The Bunbury supporters are certainly finding their voice here at Hands Oval League headquarters as it's taken by Todd Walrot. He will kick South Bunbury back forward. Up it goes, but in the centre, it's a great mark taken for the Bulldogs, and he's been a useful player, has Austin Kelly. South break up the attack, however. An opportunity for them now too, as it's taken there by South Bunbury player there in Daniel Haywood. Whistle's gone, pushing and shoving. This is a derby, physical contact, and the players certainly right down here in front of us. The ball to be thrown back into play. They jostle for possession. Up they go. It comes down to ground and is taken there by Austin Kelly. He kicks the ball forward into an open half forward line, where it's taken by O'Keefe. He goes this way, that way, bends onto the left boot, kicks it up the centre half forward, thumped out of the ground. The Tigers need to get it out of there, that's for sure. With the score, Bunbury 6-9, South Bunbury 5-5. Time ticking on in the final quarter. Ball thrown up in the air. South need the next goal. There it goes, up towards the half-forward line. Bunbury look pretty sharp as they work the ball up towards the Mary Street end of the ground. It's thumped, and there's going to be a free kick. It'll go the way of South Bunbury, and it'll be taken by Peter Amanini in the last line of defence for the Tigers.
Yeah, the umpire's in the correct spot to pick that one up. If he had been a little bit further over towards the scoreboard, maybe Bunbury, Aaron Hill would have got away with that, but he didn't. The correct call by the umpire. Amanini doesn't know which way to go. He's got to bring it in over the mark because he's been given some latitude by the umpire. Straight down towards centre half, back the shortest way home. Up they go there. Craig and Dixon it was. Cummings it was. Bounces off the pack. He comes away with a left foot kick out towards the wing. Nobody home there. Bunbury leading from 2 directions. Will they shepherd one or the other? Picked up by Lee Hislop. O'Keefe didn't put in a real good shepherd. High in the air goes the ball down to the half forward flank. South Bunbury in front, and it's Nichols who takes it safely on that chest mark. The reliable defender he's been for most of the season. Played a good game last week against the leading goal kicker, Gardner. He goes towards the centre of the ground, 3-on-1, taken by Dillon off hands. He drives it back towards centre half forward, towards Nichols. Can he do it again? No, Bunbury have marked. No, it's come to the ground. Kelly can't get hold of it. Comes out towards South. Put the slipper in. Over it goes towards centre half forward. And a great one through from Nick Martin. That's where the 50-metre kick towards Sykes. Spoilt by Drew Walker. The ball's come towards South Bunbury's feet, picked up by Slatter, straight onto the boot to centre half forward. This could go anywhere. Travis Rendell meets it, knocks it forward towards Bott. He just about overruns it. He breaks free from a tackle. Danger here for the Bulldogs. He chips it short. Barry falls over as he tries to get back in the slippery conditions. Rendell picks it up off the ground. It just about goes. He kicks it, but it's just missed to the left-hand side of the goal post, only by about a foot or two. And South Bunbury have got the ball up there into the ground. 5-6-36. They trail Bunbury 6-9-49. A margin of 13 points. That's not right, is it? 5-6-36. That's right. 6-6 is 45. So it is 9 points. I'm right. Thought my maths were out there for a minute. Bunbury to bring. He's warned by the umpire to bring it in, and a lead from Remus into the back pocket, and that's where the ball goes. Hicks offering something. Also Sykes, he's just about out on his feet, knocked over towards the boundary line by in the clash between Walrot and Sykes. Up to his feet he gets. He looks like a tired man, but he's got 25 minutes of footy to go. If he can keep his head up and keep into the tussles, Bunbury are in with a chance. South need to lift a bit. They need 2 goals to get back in front. Sykes is in front himself here. Walrot over the back, comes down towards Duplex. He can't get the ball out. It squirts out in the tackle now. Sykes goes to the ground as he jumps on it. Somebody jumped on top of him and they'll have a ball up. Right in front of the South Bunbury dugout, in the forward pocket, between half forward and forward pocket. Sykes stands his ground. Walrot runs around him. He gets a kick that goes a couple of metres. Bennell doesn't take it, and he's taken, but play on calls the umpire. Comes up towards Cummings again, gets a hand pass to Craig, and he's dumped as he kicks it up towards the forward pocket, goes up and down. In comes Cummings, smothered off his boot. Great football by the defences. Bunbury sidestep one way and the other, puts it onto his right boot, only to see Duplex in front, and he takes it coolly on his chest. He's a left footer, comes inboard towards the top of the square. Over the back it's going to go. Who's in the front and who's behind? And again the ball bounces across the line over for 1 point only, and again it only missed by a foot or two. Well, the Tigers, they're trying their hearts out. They need this win for their club. They need it for the premiership standings. They can't afford to let the Bulldogs get away with another 4 points. Collins has been undecided all night which way to bring it in. He's warned again. Straight down the centre half back he goes. Howard's going to go up and attempt the mark on this, and he does so on his chest. That's a good strong mark. Well done, son. Get in front. He also goes straight down the centre towards Austin Kelly. He ducks his head as Duplex comes across, taken by South. Great pass, a great lead from Walrot, and a great mark on his chest as he slides into it onto his knees. A little bit too far out to score, but the players have come forward. It can go over the back of the packet and skid through. Mick Hicks running with his back to the flight of the ball. He's getting over the back of the pack, and that's where it's gone. Straight through the middle. That's a goal to the Tigers. That's a badly needed one, and it's poor defence by the Bulldogs. As the South Bunbury move to 6 goals 7, but they trail Bunbury 6 goals 9.
Good game this one. It's Bunbury by 2 points. What a derby. This will be hopefully make good viewing and good memorabilia for people that love their football from both Bunbury and South Bunbury, or any footballer, or any football side. This time it's Bunbury that work it forward. Here's a go for them now as it's in the pocket. A soccering tactic is the order of the day, and it's gone through. We wait for the goal umpire. Straight through the centre, and that's another goal to the Bunbury player there in Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill. What an opportunist this little guy's been all night. So points the margin. Going into the final quarter of the derby. South need to reply. South need to reply with this one. They've worked hard all night, players from both sides. There goes Bunbury out of the centre of the ground now, this time off the boot of Austin Kelly. They've got it up forward of that half forward line once again. Backing up was the order of the day there for the Bulldogs as the ball scrambled away. And now South Bunbury have the opportunity to drive it forward. It's gone, holding the ball will be the order of the day there, I feel, because trying to do too much there was John Dixon. So it'll be a free kick taken by John Bonnell. And Bunbury get the ball forward. It's going up towards O'Keefe. He's got possession, gets rid of the ball quickly. The big fellows go in there now as it's taken for South Bunbury, and they get the ball forward. A good diving attempt to take the mark there by Todd Walrot. He couldn't do so. Players jostle for possession of the ball. It's real heavy going in there in at close quarters. Walrot off the ground. Tigers desperate. Bulldogs desperate. Desperate game of football, and it's close in, so the umpire will move in and throw the ball up. It's Bunbury that lead by 8 points in the derby here at Hands Memorial Oval in the last quarter under lights at Hands Memorial Oval. A derby I'm sure that will have a great memory to a lot of people. There goes the throw up in the air, and again it's that big pack of players around the ball. The umpires tonight have been umpire Darby and umpire Koch as we wait for the Ball to be thrown up again once more. Up they go. Cragen's there. Body work used. Cragen comes away with the ball. He kicks the ball forward now as it goes an opportunity for the Tigers. Bulldogs desperate in defence. They hold out the attack. It's gone forward to O'Keefe. He's been a good player, a real opportunist. He's grabbed without possession. He'll put Bunbury forward. He kicks it out towards the teammate there, and it's taken by Austin Kelly. Austin Kelly kicks out Bunbury forward again. Thumped away in defence by the red and whites. They need a goal. They need to get it out of there as it comes to ground. An opportunity for them now. Can they get some run from this rebound? On the ground goes Bennell. On the ground goes Austin Kelly. They try to bottle it up and hold it up. The umpire lets it go. Good umpiring here. Socket off the ground by the Bulldogs, and in defence the mark has been taken for South Bunbury, and they will go back through Martin, and he will kick this ball forward, and it goes over the line and out of bounds. Good last quarter, Ray, and South, I feel, would desperately need this next goal.
Yeah, the rain stayed away, which is great, and the players have been able to lift their skills a bit with the rain going away, and it's not drying out, but it makes it a little bit easier because it's not wet. Hick just got one right in their head and he staggered. He never got a free kick. The umpire in a poor position to see that one, and I thought that he obviously deserved one, but the ball's gone over the line and out of bounds from that kick. Hick's all right. Okay, the ball's brought in by that ever reliable Cummings. Nearly a mark for Shane Berry. Knocks it forward so it doesn't go to the back of the pack. Good defensive work. Don't let the ball get behind you in these conditions if you're a defender. Amanini's out there barking orders. A very open forward line for South Bunbury if they can get the ball forward. Rendell on Collins. As the ball's handballed out to Slatter. Slatter over to Dixon. Dixon can't get onto his left foot. He's been held too long in the tackle according to the umpire, and he'll take a free kick. Bunbury supporters have come out from underneath the woodwork here at Hands Oval, but I think the umpire was right in that one. They held him a little bit too long after he took after the ball fell forward in the tackle. So Dixon to put South Bunbury deep into offence, out of defence, into attack. Too much basketball stuff here. Good use of the body by South Bunbury player there to in Bassett, I think it is. He got his direct opponent out of the way and took a good chest mark. Now he's some 50-55 metres out from goal. Waiting for someone. There's a gap to run into, but he's going for distance into the... Well, I don't know if he went for distance or he went for bite, but it's gone over the line and out of bounds from a touch. A desperate lunge by Rendell to keep the ball in play for or in the area for South Bunbury and not allowing it going out on the full. We've played some 16 minutes of this quarter. The ball's in play. Walrot knocks it over the back. Slater can't control it. Comes to ground and Walrot's in there. Handball out by Jones. He's tackled after he got rid of it. Comes out to Amanini. One step and out on the full it goes from a defender. Bunbury, Mick Hick brings it back out of defence, out to the 50-metre line. Sykes over the back, but he's rested his arm on Cragen's shoulder. Amanini's allowed to play on. He's given a hand pass out to Bassett. Bassett to the top of the square. Who's over the back? But Rendell takes a mark over the top of his head, right in the square. And this is another certain major for the Tigers. This will bring them back to within 2 points. All vital. Poor defence by Bunbury. No fist. Let the play go on as Rendell lines up. Straight through the eye. Little goes the ball. And that's his second goal on the for the night to make South Bunbury 7-7-49. They trail Bunbury 7-9-51. 2 points the difference. Well, can the Bulldogs do it? Can South Bunbury get back? Someone's in the square. It's a trainer. I think it's a Bunbury trainer, and that's very, very slack. You can't afford that in a 2-point game. That's poor, very poor. Cragen to take the kick, and he drives it some 50 metres into South Bunbury's attacking zone. This could have ramifications for the Bulldogs. Goes over to the back. South Bunbury have their tails in the air. Rendell dives on it again. Good for the play to keep the ball locked up there by the South Bunbury forward. Well, getting the ball out of the centre is what this game's all about. Aussie rules these days. You can't afford that. The ball's thrown up in the air. In comes Cummings. He couldn't take the ball. Bunbury's got the run of the ball. Socketed over there by Taylor, and he's socketed over the line and out of bounds for another throw in. Well, could we have a drawn result? Wouldn't that be one for the tipsters and one for the icons after 100 years of footy? Sykes and Warrock. Warrock wins it. Hick couldn't take the ball off and get it out. It's come back out towards him. He's gathered it up. He's got a hand pass out to anybody in particular. Picked up by Kelly. He's put it to the top of the square again. South Bunbury in front. He couldn't take the mark. Sykes lumbers after it. Shane Barry gets his boot to the ball and sockers it. Good shepherding by Bassett to give Amanini the run of the ball. He stops, props, and he's taken over the shoulder, and he'll have a free kick. Poor tackling by Bunbury. I've said many times tonight, the one man in front will get all the free kicks, and it hasn't changed from the first bounce. Amanini some 55 metres out. There won't be a score out of this kick, but it's dangerous for the Bulldogs. Up they go in defence. It's knocked down. Comes down towards Bunbury. They've forced it through and over the line for a point. And this is going to make it an interesting ball game now for the next 10 minutes with what we've got left. 19 minutes gone. 7-8 South Bunbury. 7-9 Bunbury.
1 point the difference. They don't come much closer than that, and we see the ball deep in the forward line now for South Bunbury, with Bunbury to kick this ball back into play. And it's a very important kick, this one, as his player goes out to that regional hospital side of the ground. And again, it's O'Keefe, a classy player, this guy. His kick is ineffective. It rebounds off an opposition player. It keeps the ball in the forward line for the Tigers. Putting his hand up for a free kick is Kelly for South Bunbury, but the umpire will move in and throw it up. So I guess you could say the ball would be about 45 metres out, 50 metres out, right on the 50 metre line. Up they go. It's a big thump away there by the Bulldogs. Comes down to ground, taken by Burnell. It comes out on towards Austin Kelly. He gets his boot to the ball. He scrambles the ball forward. It's gone up towards the half forward line. In defence, however, it's the Tigers that break up the attack. And again, we see that big pack around the play. And we'll see another bounce down, or a throw up, I should say. 1 point the difference. The crowd that have been here tonight have been put on a brilliant exhibition, both these sides. Very exciting and very a spirit out there in a derby. 1 point the difference. Both sides need the 4 premiership points, and it's going to be another ball up over there. And luck's going to play a big part in this last 8 or 9 minutes or so of this game. There goes the ball up into the air. Up goes the ball. It comes down to ground. It's on close to that boundary line. South Bunbury desperate. They soccer the ball towards the boundary line, and it's done there by Caton for South Bunbury, and we will see the ball thrown back into play once again. It's Bunbury that lead this game by a margin of 1 point. There goes the ball thrown back into play. Next goal here is going to be crucial to either side, as it's taken. Austin Kelly drives the ball, but taking it now, it's taken by the Tigers. They get the ball in towards the half forward line. Luck's going, and whoever's going to use this ball properly here is going to be the side in with a big chance, and that player was grabbed high, and it'll be taken by Burnell. So this is a very important move now for the Bunbury side. But it's taken in defence by the red and whites. The Tiger won't give up. It's Bunbury that break up the attack once again into the centre. However, South Bunbury drop back there, and the mark is taken by Mark Slatter. Here's an opportunity now, as it's taken by the player in Brent Jones, been a fairly useful player also. Puts the Tigers up into that forward line. I'll try and keep it in there. It's on the ground. The Bulldogs endeavouring to soccer the ball off the ground. There it goes. Players jostle for possession of the ball. Then held to him, says the umpire, and we're going to see a ball up on that right half forward flank for the red and whites up at the Halsey Street end of Hands Memorial Oval. A real cliffhanger, this derby. Up they go. Cragen takes the ball with both hands. Can't break away. It's kicked forward by the Tigers. Important move for them, but diving down there to take a desperate mark. We see the ball held up in the attack, and it'll be Bunbury that will hold up this attack, and they will do that through Barry. Barry now kicks the ball out on towards the half-back flank. Sykes is there. Hand pass goes away, but it's taken here by Cragen, and the red and whites go back up to that forward line. Can they mark? Comes down to ground, and it's on the ground as players jostle for possession. And Manini's on the bottom of the pack, but they can't break through. And we'll see what can happen here. 1 point the difference. South in their forward line. Time ticking on, and we'll give it to Ray Kelly now with not much long to go in this last quarter, and the Bulldogs are up by 1 point.
Ball's thrown in the air, 23 minutes played. The ball comes out the back towards Bunbury. Coming in for it, getting around onto his left foot is Duplex. Duplex puts it up the top of the square. Burnell's in the best position to mark. It's bounced off his chest. No, he's grabbed it. And he's dealt with afterwards by Rendell, but not all that severely, and he'll stand the mark where he took the mark. Bennell's looking for a hand pass to go on. He gives it over to Kelly. Kelly onto his right foot, down on the outer side, and I think he's kicked it out in the full. He has. It's poor again by the Bulldogs. They lose this game. Some poor defensive errors they've made in the last quarter will have one that's cost them. Under no pressure whatsoever. Out on the full. So that gives South at about the 45 metre mark to bring the ball back into play. Looks like Slatter's got the ball. He's drived it to the top of the square. That's where it should be. Dangerous here for the Bulldogs. Up goes Jones. Neron takes the mark, comes down the ground to Hick. Gets a good hand pass over to Barry. Barry on his left foot drives it out towards the wing. The big bloke Sykes, he's running for it. He's hoping for it to go over the line and out of bounds, and that's the way it will go, with Warwick chipping in to give him a hand. Well, sensational football here. All players to be admired. 24.5 minutes played. The spectators down here in front for Bunbury trying to get them lifting their side. They need another goal. The next goal will probably win the game. Ashworth can't get it out of there. Taken by Martin, and Martin has had the ball held to him, and the umpire Darby will put the ball in the air. They've both done a good job, the umpires as well. All round good Aussie rules footy. Great football for South West. Up they go again. Cragen and Sykes. They'll be out on their feet tonight. As they go, the ball comes down to the pack, and again the umpire's going to throw it up. Highest scoring quarter scoring in the quarter this quarter, so we could get about 28, 29 minutes of play. 25 gone, and up they go again. Sykes knocks it forward in towards a horde of Tigers, onto to Martin, scrambles it up towards Remus. He quite can't take it over his head. Bott's tied up in a tackle. Dixon puts his boot to the ball as it bounces along. Remus back in it, knocks it over their head, takes it again, gets a hand pass towards the boundary, and Austin Kelly, he's out onto his left foot, takes a bounce. Cool, calm and collected, gets it down the wing to the half forward to Merv Kelly, who takes a good mark. When will he pay? On the second or first grab? Well, he's going to pay the mark. Merv Kelly, he's going to drive it towards half forward. Over the back it'll go towards, good effort at mark by Kimberley. The speed of Aaron Hill, gets a shepherd from Kimberley, gets it onto his right foot. Will Hick make it? No, he won't. He's got the ball now, he's knocked it forward his own advantage, but Nichols cool. He knows which way he's going to go defender. He's picked up and dumped straight over to Hick. Hick's been dumped. The ball comes through to Warwick, and Warwick's drilled it from 1 metre out. The Bulldogs 7 points in front, and that could be the sealer. You never know in this game of Aussie rules though. 8 goals, 9 Bunbury. They lead South Bunbury 7 goals, 8, and what an absolute clinker we've got here. 27 minutes of play gone. The Bulldogs 7 points in front. Is that enough to keep their tails in the air? Can the Tiger come back? The wounded Tiger at their best. Kelly's dumped out of the pack. The ball comes forward to Lowe. He puts his boot to the ball. Everything they've got to do has got to be right now as O'Keefe sidesteps one and gets his boot to the ball. The wind's going that way. The Bulldogs have been favoured by that in the last quarter. As the kick comes back to the centre, up goes Cragen. He can't do anything with the ball as it comes over the back towards Lowe. 2 on 1. Here's a chance for South Bunbury to go forward. Duplex picks it up. Can't get rid of the footy. I think he's been grabbed too high, says the umpire. And once again, the man in front has been given benefit of the doubt. Move the ball on quickly, South Bunbury need to. They've got to have 2 scoring shots. He goes out onto his left foot, down towards centre half forward. Where's it going to lob? Travis Rendell makes the ball his object. Couldn't quite grab it in. Sykes or Collins is after it. Dived on it by South Bunbury. Picked up by Amanini. Handball over to Rendell. Rendell onto his right foot. This is going to go very close. Bunbury's in front and they've forced it over the line and out of bounds for a throw in deep into the right full forward pocket at 28 minutes gone in the last quarter. Ball's back into play. In comes Bott over the back, tries to take it, can't. He's forced it down. Slater can't get his boot to the ball. Bennell goes down and puts his hands on the ball to tie it up, and great effort he's done, and they come in on the top of him. And we'll have yet another ball up, and that's time going down the drain for the Tigers. Up they go. Ball comes to the ground again. Where is? I can't pick it out. It's picked up by Bott. Tries to get his boot to the ball. Comes out to Remus. Remus knocks it out. Comes back underneath him in the pack. Someone's grabbed it around the side as Rendell put it in the right sort of spot. No, it wasn't Rendell, he's in the square, but it came back in the thing, but Bunbury forced it straight through for a point. That makes it 1 straight goal the difference. Bunbury lead 8 goals 9 to South Bunbury 7 goals 9, and they can't afford a mistake here as they kick the ball into play, and it's taken by Austin Kelly. He kicks it out on his left foot, a deft little kick onto to Warwick, who fumbles the ball the first time, then knocks it over the line and out of bounds as a saving grace for the Bulldogs. Can South Bunbury score twice? Up goes Sykes, he comes in from the back. Socket forward by Kelly, up towards O'Keefe. He's knocked down as he goes forward. Great big clash by Nichols, and again it stacks on the middle. And again the Bulldogs tie it up. South need the ball out in the open. They need to break. Someone needs to break the shackles here and get the ball forward to centre forward in a hurry. Bunbury have packed their defence a little bit. They've got a couple of spare men down there. Cragen goes up, knocked forward by Sykes. Comes to South Bunbury. Cummings goes to ground. He's out on his feet as well. Gee, he's played a good game, and the ball comes loose after he's had it. Picked up by Mickett. Well, there we have it, John. What a fantastic game of football. Unfortunate for the Tigers, they couldn't get over the line in their centenary game. Bunbury running out winners, 8 goals, 9-57. South Bunbury 7 goals, 9-51. 1 goal is the deficit and for the South Bunbury, and it's great to see all these players shaking hands as they leave the ground. Sykes running up to Warrod. They're obviously disappointed, South Bunbury, but they shouldn't be. I mean, they've lost the game on the scoreboard, but they certainly haven't lost any friends in the manner in which they ran this game out and the manner they took the game up to Bunbury.
Yes, that was a great game of football, and the way I see the goal scorers here, firstly for the Bunbury side, a good game by Michael Warwick with 3 goals. They got 2 from Merv Kelly, they got 1 from Aaron Hill, and the other goal scorer was Shane Taylor. Now for South Bunbury, 2 from Travis Rendell, and 1 apiece to Brent Jones, 1 to Mark Slatter, Todd Waldrott, Docking, and also Brad Lowe, who proved to be an effective player when he come on. But as you said, Ray, only 1 goal. They don't come much closer than that. And we can see that the Bulldogs have got another 4 premiership points as they sing their theme song down here in front of us. And they're to be congratulated because they've won a close game and some great skills shown in that last quarter, particularly by Austin Kelly, who put in a great last quarter. And we saw some very good players right throughout the night. There was also Merv Kelly put in some good passages of play, some very good work by O'Keefe. Also Hick proved to be a good player. Ben Sykes worked very hard indeed. And but unfortunately there can only be 1 winner in the 4 points to premiership points. Didn't Mark Cummings play a good game? Todd Waldrott played a good game. They had many good players throughout the course of the night. And as you can hear down here in front of us, the Bulldogs are absolutely jubilant because to win a derby by a margin of only a goal, Ray, is a very precious thing. And no doubt I see you looking there at the premiership table and the way it would read within a full weekend of fixtures of football to come. But it's a handy 4 points for the Bulldogs winning this game by 6 points.
Yeah, they really got their supporters' hearts in their mouths, John. They've won 4 games and all of them been by less than 9 points from memory. They won against Boyne up by a goal. They beat Collie by 9 points. They beat Kerry Park by a goal last week. And so they've run them all to the wire. They've been beaten by 7 points by Busselton. The only big margin, the difference in all their 6 games has been Harvey Brunswick. So yeah, they've really taken the ball to the line. And I think it also indicates that they have been working very, very hard and working on their fitness and running the game out. And I think that must be pleasant for their coach, Jeff Nitsky. And all in all, fantastic game of football. And they should all be congratulated, the whole 42 players and the coaches and the staff around them. And the umpires did an excellent job also.
We hope that you've enjoyed our telecast. We'd like to thank our cameraman who's come all the way from Collie here tonight, who used to play football for Collie. We've enjoyed doing the best we can to make it a memorable occasion for players and supporters from both sides. So on behalf of Ray Kelly and myself, thank you very much, Ray.
Thanks, John.
And it's a very good evening to you all.